All right, all right, all right. What is up, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your day. I know I am enjoying mine. I would say pretty good news starting out soon here. But we'll get right into that, guys. Before we actually do get into the topics, I want to say what's up to everyone who's here in the chat. Hopefully the music is not still too loud. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the music, guys. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. Hopefully you enjoyed. That was More Ardain Roaming the Wastes from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I think most of you guys probably already know that track, but if you didn't, if you want to go check it out yourself, go ahead and do so. More Ardain Roaming the Wastes from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So yeah, man, what's up to everyone here before we get into the topics? We got Alicio. Alicio's here. What's up, Alicio? Mark Bryant. Shout outs to Mark Bryant, like always. Also, shout outs to Zach Brown. What up, Zach? How's it going? Historic Duel. How's it going, man? How's it going? No, you're the man. You're the Historic Duel. Be nothing without you guys. Be nothing without you guys. So what's up? Let's see here. Mr. Uzake or Ukaze. What's up, man? Squid Vicious. What's up? Rosalina Deuces. David Potts. What up, David? Thanks for the retweets, guys. Appreciate that. Saw David's retweet on my phone. Vincent Allen, what's up, man? How's it going? How's it going? Kyle Hikes, how's it going? Fire Blast Gaming, how's it going, man? George, what's up, George? What's up? Let's see here. Eric Dolbeer, what's up? Rocket League Master over here. Eric, man, what's up, Eric? El Chupacabra, the legend, man. What's up, dude? Been a chill family day? Hey, man, it's always good for a family day. Always a good day for a family day. What's up, XTC? Thanks again for the emotes, XTC. As soon as I can figure out this whole Twitch thing, I'll be getting that done. Party man, what up, dude? What up? And I cannot say your name. I'm just gonna call you PA. PA, what's up, man? Can I turn up my mic? My mic, unfortunately, dude, my mic is as loud as it's going to go. So you might have to turn it up on your end. I can't turn up any louder than it is right now at this point. So maybe I need a new mic, but I'm looking at my decimal levels and everything, and it literally can't go any higher than it is. So that's unfortunate. Let me double check though. Like, yeah, it's pretty much maxed, man. I don't know what it is with this mic. It's just not very loud. So I need to maybe get a new mic. But yeah, that's as loud as it goes, bro. Sorry about that. Hoovy. Okay, Hoovy. Okay, Hoovy. Got you. Is there something that's just easy? Can I just call you, Hoovy? Is it Hoovy? Man, stop having hard names. Like, my name, I make it easy for you guys. It's OJ. It's it's OJ. Like, it's an easy name. You guys need to stop coming up with these crazy names and these weird pronunciations. You guys get me all tongue-tied and stuff, man. Oh, by the way, guys, if you're on Twitter, do not click when it says Black China. Do not click on that. Just trust me. She's trending, and I fell for it, and I clicked on it, and yeah, so just don't click that. Just giving you guys a word of advice, especially if your family's around. It got me. Maybe Twitter cleaned it up, but Jesus, man, like, I was like just getting ready for the live stream. I see Black China's trending on Twitter, and I'm like, why is she trending on Twitter? What'd she do now? Clicked on it and was like, oh, that's what she did. Click off. click off. I never clicked off so fast in my life. Oh man. But anyway, just letting you guys know, because I wasn't the only one who fell victim to it. There were other people falling victim to it all across the Americas. So if you're in Europe or if you're in a different country, you probably don't even know who Black China is, and good thing you don't. But just letting you guys know, just a word of advice, because it got me, and I don't want the same thing to happen to you guys. Don't worry about who Black China is. Don't worry about it. I'm just letting you guys know. Just letting you guys know. Do not click on it. So anyway. My daughter was in the room too, so that was also not very good. So, all right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it here. I think we got our introductions out of the way. So a lot of you guys were already saying, oh, well, this is old news. What are you talking about this for, OJ? What are you talking about? Like, Nintendo's the richest company in Japan. We already knew this. And yes, I know. I think I even talked about it once before. But the thing about it is that not only are they the richest company in Japan, but things are even expanding. We got another article here today where a Newzoo, which is an analyst firm, and they are estimating that Nintendo has an opportunity to add about 2.5 billion in revenue growth as subscriptions, microtransactions, and mobile games. But the biggest thing here that I want to talk about is the subscriptions. That's where I think is going to be the big one. I mean, obviously microtransactions, you have Fire Emblem, you have the Animal Crossing game, Mario Kart is coming out. Now that's going to be a free to start game apparently, and then it's going to follow maybe the mold of Super Mario Run, free to start, then maybe $10 afterwards. But there might be microtransactions on top of that. Who knows? I mean, Nintendo might combine the two, you know, maybe give you a bunch of free stuff, but then also more stuff, you know, each week they add in new things, you get some free things, you get some microtransaction things, whatever. But yeah, I think Mario Kart is the big one, and I think that's where the value is kind of building up, because obviously Mario Kart is going to be a big franchise for them. But that's basically where I'm coming with this article. Is not only are they the richest company in Japan, but there's even more because of their whole online. Think about it, guys. Nintendo is the richest company in Japan without a paid online service. Sony has a paid online service, obviously. Microsoft obviously is way richer than Sony or Nintendo, but we're talking in just a video game space, which Nintendo, I guess, is branching outside of the video game space, so I guess it's not completely fair to just put them all in video games, but that's essentially where they get the bulk majority, you know, 70 to 80%. Most of their money comes from video game sales and all that, whereas, you know, Microsoft, a tiny speck of their money comes from that. And like I said, I'm not trying to get too analysty or anything like that. I'm just letting you guys know, like, it's not necessarily the same, because the bulk of Microsoft's money is like Microsoft's Xbox division makes nothing compared to the rest of the company, whereas whereas Nintendo and Sony, they're definitely more geared towards video games as a driver of their company. If video games fail, then they're in trouble, whereas Microsoft, if video games fail, they're fine. They're actually like, okay, dead weight, let's go, you know. So for Microsoft, it's no biggie, you know, when things don't go well, whereas for Sony and Nintendo, when things don't go well, yeah, there's problems when things don't go well. So it's interesting to see how Nintendo's grown over these last few years, and the fact that, I mean, like the gaming media, a lot of people like to say, oh, well, you know, Sony sold 70-80 million or whatever, they're about to sell 80 million PS4s, but if you look at whose company is worth more, which you should think, I mean, like I said, and I hate to compare, like, I really don't like the comparisons, but just talking about Japan here, like, you would think that Nintendo, like, so Sony would be just so much more valuable, or not valuable, but so much more richer in terms of actual cash on hand assets than Nintendo, because they make Spider-Man movies, you know what I'm saying? They have a whole they have a whole Sony movie division, you know, they do all sorts of stuff traditionally outside of the realm of video games, but Nintendo's actually in that spot. And the funny thing is that Nintendo's actually the one who's looking to be, like, in the long run, like, super more valuable, because Nintendo has not even started with the movies yet. We're getting the Mario movie, so that's coming up. Maybe we get that long rumored Netflix Zelda series at some point. I mean, Nintendo's just starting to get into licensing and doing other things more, and that's when their system, their whole new rebrand, is at its infancy. So yeah, man. You missed the intros. Oh, what up, Carl Rocco? Shout outs to Carl Rocco, man. Yo, you guys all go subscribe to my boy Carl Rocco. Hit this man up. He has some good stuff, man. So yeah. Definitely go shout outs to Carl Rocco. So that's the thing that I'm trying to say here. It's just I would say that's the surprising thing about it. It's like, okay, yeah, they're the richest right now, but they're not even in their final form. This isn't even like perfect cell at this point. This is like, honestly, I don't know if it's even the middle cell. This is like the beginning cell, the nappy looking one. That's, yeah, I mean, he's strong, but he still needs to absorb some more stuff. He still needs to feed. Like, he needs to go find some more stuff and absorb. It's not even perfect cell yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking, you know, we're just talking maybe just Super Saiyan here. We're not even talking about Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 or the new ones, the SSG, SS, or anything like that. We're just talking about just Super Saiyan here. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all of this stuff is going to add tremendously to already what Nintendo does, and that's going to be that's like vision changing money. And that's where I kind of want to, like, where does all this business stuff tie into us, the consumer, like outside of us giving them money, obviously, but where does this all tie into products? And I think all of this really, with Tatsumi Kimishima, this is going to be the first time that we've seen Nintendo in a while have this type of cash on hand. Their stocks have hit a 10-year high, so it's going to be interesting to see what they actually do with it, the investments that they make. Tatsumi Kimishima has already stated that they made a large investment to the online, so that's why I'm expecting the online to be pretty good. They made a large investment to that, but what in the future? Could Nintendo actually go for like a completely custom? Okay, somebody's knocking on my door for some reason. I'm in the middle of the live stream. What's up?
Somebody ring the doorbell and that's
Okay, well, don't answer the doorbell, okay?
it was somebody went at the door and put a package.
Okay, it's a package. Okay, I'll get the package in a bit, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. My daughter came in to tell me that somebody rang the doorbell and left the package. I'm pretty sure you guys heard that. So, package is at the door. Let me go grab the package so it doesn't get stolen off of my front porch. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, sometimes life gets in the way. Okay, you guys missed nothing. So basically, what's going on here is that I think that with Nintendo and how they do this next generation, I honestly think all of the revenue that's coming in and what they're kind of like what they're doing here, I honestly feel that that could actually lead to an expansion of what Nintendo's trying to do with the gaming industry, what Nintendo's trying to do with their systems. And like I was saying before I left, and for those who just came in, I'm talking about Nintendo basically being the richest company in Japan, and how we got a new article about Nintendo having the opportunity to add 2.5 billion in revenue with microtransactions, subscriptions, and mobile games. Mario Kart's coming out. You have the subscription service for online in September, and then you also have other stuff as well. So there's plenty of things that Nintendo's going to have in order to kind of add to what they're doing. And I think that they could truly build some type of crazy SoC, you know, custom chip with NVIDIA. Like, they build a chip together, and then on top of that chip being built together, but that chip potentially could be licensed. I think that Nintendo and NVIDIA could join a real partnership to where that chip even gets licensed, potentially into other things, but I'd probably think that Nintendo would probably want to keep it you know, proprietary. So I don't think it'd probably go any other places, but the fact that Nintendo could have this type of money gives them a lot of money to invest for R&D, for the next system, for the new Nintendo Switch, for an upgraded dock. So I mean, I'm just trying to relate this back to how, you know, Nintendo's money actually can benefit in terms of R&D and what they did, because essentially, guys, what happened with the Nintendo Switch is that Nintendo literally invested that cash stock that they had from the Wii. They had a ton of money from the Wii, and they invested it into the Wii U, but then they still had tons of money left over from the Wii, and they did invest that into what the Nintendo Switch ended up being. So getting all of this is always good for the next system, and always good to see what's going to happen, because the more that they get, the potential more exciting or new opportunities they're going to explore. Because you guys always know Nintendo likes to do things crazy. They like to, oh, not crazy, but they like to do things innovative. They like to be different, and that's just in their DNA. Like, you can't stop them. Like, they're never going to sit down and just say, okay, we are going to have a console that does everything that these developers want us to do, and it's just going to be sit down in front of your TV, play. I don't think Nintendo's ever going to do that again. There's always going to be some type of hook. I mean, there's been that for a while now. There's been some type of hook or some type of gimmick or some type of thing, and I think that out of all these years Nintendo's been doing it, we're now in the third generation of Nintendo doing, you know, crazy type of hook gimmick type of deals. I think this is finally the hook or the gimmick or whatever you want to call it And like, man, my alarm is beeping so much. But anyway, I'm gonna turn that on in just a bit. But this is out of all the hooks and gimmicks and all this stuff. I think this is probably Nintendo's biggest swing. I think it's even bigger than the Wii, because the problem with the Wii was that it's not HD. That was the problem with the Wii even back then, and Miyamoto even admitted that they probably should have went HD with the Wii. Okay, the problem was that it wasn't HD, so you don't have a long-term viability. And on top of that, with the Wii, it was so different from what other developers were doing. It was hard if that like after you're done with that, what are you going to do? Because you move from an SD system to an HD system. So essentially, the architecture, everything that you do, I mean, you can have the same architecture, Power PC, but everything that you're doing has to be completely different. So, in my opinion, like the Wii, yes, it was great, but it was so small-lived. You know what I'm saying? It was not long enough in terms of things. So, I do feel that with the Switch, they finally hit a home run. They've hit that home run. Even though the Wii was great, trust me, I like the Wii. I think it was a cool system. I mean, whatever. It had a lot of games for it. But I think this is finally where Nintendo, like, seriously, it goes perfect form. Give me 1 second. Let me hit the alarm, just so it's not beeping. You guys can give, if people are just coming in, give them a recap of what I just said. Anybody who's been here, give them a little quick recap. Okay, so basically, I don't think that they see, like, okay, so Miguel, I mean, I don't think that they've conquered it yet. There's still a lot more to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, they still, like I said, they're in Super Saiyan. They're not yet in Super Saiyan 3. They're not Super Saiyan. We'll just say Super Saiyan 4. Let's just exclude Dragon Ball Super. So they're not in Super Saiyan 4 mode at this point. I mean, they're not there right now. And I think that they're just Super Saiyan. Honestly, I don't think that they're in Super. They haven't conquered it yet, because look at all the opportunity. Look at all the stuff that they could still do. They should be full, like, head into movies. Like, there shouldn't just be like, okay, we've got a Mario movie, it's coming. Like, you know, this is the aggressiveness that I wanted to see out of Nintendo back in the Wii days, because Nintendo probably could have made double. The scary thing is that Nintendo probably could have made double what they made with the Wii, and that's scary because Nintendo made billions upon billions of dollars off the Wii. Nintendo probably could have made double off that if they decided to make movies. Nintendo was at the height of its popularity. Nintendo could have licensed the Wii to be in more things. They could have made more movies. They, over that course of, like, that time period, 2006 to 2011, they should have made at least 3 or 4 movies, in my opinion. Even if they weren't that great, they still would have made a ton of money off them. I mean, they still would have made a ton of money off them. So just from a business perspective, they probably should have done more. They should have licensed more. And you saw that with the Switch. You're starting to see that. You're starting to see Nintendo license stuff way more. Like, you're starting to see licensed action figures way more, not just with certain companies. Multiple companies now have licenses to make Nintendo products. Nintendo's obviously doing Amiibo, which started, you know, kind of in the, and I mean, it was in the Wii U era that Amiibo started, but really it's kind of taken off even like crazy now, you know, like with the Amiibo, pretty much every game gets Amiibo for the most part, you know. Most of the games get Amiibo, or you get guest Amiibos or things like that. And I think that they can even do more. And I think that they're not in their final form yet, because I think this is just the genesis. This is just the beginning. Because we saw what they're doing. Like you look at the Switch, right? The Switch, while it's powerful, it's good for what it is. There's so much more that mobile SoCs can do. There's so much more that I know that Nintendo could do, because in my opinion, this was just a test. This was not even like what they really wanted to do, because Nintendo never uses like stock parts or anything. Like, I mean, Tegra, just like the Tegra X1. Yo, this is a Tegra X1. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nintendo has like almost never done that before. They always use some type of custom type of deal with a lot of modifications to it and things like that. I mean, and this is just a Tegra. So I think that now that this is successful and now they have this revenue coming in, I think Nintendo and Nvidia can really like take it up to the next notch, to like a Super Saiyan 2 or a Super Saiyan 3 with the next one, and blow us away with like, hey, we've got this completely custom like what is like the Volta or whatever, or there's some of the other ones out there. Like, we have this completely custom like chip I mean, yeah, maybe it's Tegra, but it's not a Tegra X1. It's not a Tegra X2. Like, this is our chip. You know, this is not something that we saw. Okay, 2015, you see the dude hold up the little chip and say, okay, you know, this is our chip, and then Nintendo says, okay, well, we want to use that. We want to test out this new type of thing that we're doing. We're gonna hear Nintendo joint with Nvidia come up on stage, or Nvidia, and then they talk about it like, hey, we've got a completely custom chip. And I think that's when Nintendo actually evolves a little bit, because this is so I mean, it's like Nintendo, but it's so unlike Nintendo to just grab a stock part and say, okay, this is what we're using. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's not like Nintendo at all. But I realize why they did that, because that saves time, that saves money. And that was the most powerful chip. Nintendo had never been into this. Like, they've only known how to design really, like, you know, bad graphics when it comes to things. You know, like, that's all they designed. But they needed something that can handle huge graphics. They needed something that can handle, you know what I'm saying, like PS4 and Xbox One level pared down. Like, they needed engines, like, they needed all of that. And there was no way that they were going to have enough time, from how bad the Wii U failed. There was no way they were going to have enough time to develop that on their own. So they just said, okay, well, we got to go. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a stroke of luck, because obviously mobile tech was advancing, but they're lucky that Nvidia released the Tegra X1 in 2015, because if that went to 2016 or 2017, there would have been a lot more problems. Like Nintendo would have been in a little bit more, like, even in a bigger bind than what people thinking they were in beforehand, because there's no way they would have had time to invest. Like, Tegra's been investing over the years and years. I mean, this Tegra X1 has taken them literally years and multiple devices to test and to kind of, you know, click and get it right. I mean, they could have used the K1, but the K1 is just not, it's, if they used the K1, it would have been, that you better call that thing a portable device. Like, you better just call it a portable that you can hook up to your TV. Don't call it a home console on the go. Call it a portable that you can hook up to your TV, you know. So that's maybe what they would have went with. They might have had one with the K1, you know. But then again, why go with the K1? You might as well just design your own chip at that point, you know. So so I think that when Nintendo actually decides to say, this is what we're going to do, like, we're going to make our own, now that we have this experience, we've probably seen the tech, we can work with Nvidia, and they make something truly mind-blowing, not just only in graphical power, as I'm not talking about that, but I'm just talking about in functionality. I'm talking about a Nintendo-like chip, you know what I'm saying? Because this is just a complete stock type of deal. So it'll be interesting to see when Nintendo actually does do that, you know. So yeah, man. You guys are probably not even talking about anything that I have to say. People talk about Splatoon card shows and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, Kid Icarus animes. You guys aren't even talking about anything. Sony always wins, baby. Yeah, man. Sony always wins. So if any of you guys have any comments on what I actually talked about instead of all this other stuff, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to discuss some more things before we move on to the next topic. So yeah. Volta. Yeah, Volta is like it's a SoC from Tegra. It's like the next line that they have of Tegra SoC mobile chips. Oh, and also shout outs to Night Moon with the dollar donation, and he says, Night Moon Games says, have $1. Thank you, I appreciate the dollar. Put your dollars in your pockets, please. Also, shout outs to Captain Slayer, hitting us with that jutsu, hitting us with that subscription. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it, homie. Welcome to the village of PlayerEssence. Please, everyone in the chat, please make Captain Slayer feel very welcome. Get this man a headband if you got those headband emojis, please. You trying to flatter me? OJ, you're looking handsome. Thank you. Appreciate that. I try. I comb my beard today, which my girlfriend hates, actually, by the way. She hates my beard, so combed it. OJ, do you think Nintendo Switch could have made this Switch as powerful as PS4? No. I just talked about this. I know you've been in here for a while. No, there's no mobile chip at the time that Nintendo was planning the Switch. There's no mobile chip that could have reached the PS4's levels back. I mean, remember, like, when you make a system, you can't use the strongest tech when it actually launches. you don't have 2017 tech inside of a Switch. You know what I'm saying? Usually what you do is a couple years back. Like the tech inside of a PS4 is a graphics card equivalent from like 2011, which was high end when they were planning things, but at some point you need a cutoff date because you need dev kits, you need to stick to a certain graphics point, and like there was no mobile chip that was anywhere even close to what the PS4 was doing even in 2015. The Tegra X1 was the strongest mobile chip that you can get on the market, and Nintendo had to make a decision. And 2015, it needs to be the cutoff because dev kits are going out 2016, systems launching in 2017, early 2017 be it that, and Nintendo was late getting dev kits to people. So yeah, there's no way that they could have made it the strongest PS4. There's no, I mean, there's chips that are maybe almost as good, like some of the Volta and some of the other stuff, but like even like the X2, that's just more power efficient. I mean, you have a bigger, I mean, the nanometers or whatever is smaller, or so I mean, you could potentially fit more for certain other things, but it's not feasible. The PS4 is like this big, you know what I'm saying? It's this big thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just this huge device. Xbox One X is just this big box. Like if anybody's expecting Nintendo to make a chip or to have a chip that would be anywhere near the PS4, like realistically near, like not like, oh, it can handle some ports near, because it is near in that way, but actually from a graphical standpoint, like raw power, there's no way. That's the strongest mobile chip on the market. So I think going forward, if Nintendo and Nvidia, if they invested a lot and they decided to jointly do something, yes, they can make something that's maybe at PS4 Pro level next generation, or maybe an Xbox One X level next generation, but that's going to be an expensive, very time consuming, and very hard for the chip not to literally go and then it disintegrate into thin air. You have to be power efficient when something's that small. It just can't handle as much. What's the power source? People have to play this portably. There's so many things that play a part into graphics and into what you can do with a device that's held in your hands. Now, if you have a box, then that's different. But with the device that's held in your hands, unless you want the thing to heat up and melt or have a I don't know, a 30-minute battery life, there's just certain things that you can and can't do. You need to wait for technology to progress, for things to get cheaper, and then you could potentially implement things. But a mobile chip, for the most part, it's always going to be behind anybody who decides, I want to put something in a big box. It's always going to be behind it because there's just space. Look at a graphics card. There's just not enough space to jam a Titan into a Nintendo Switch and say, hey, this is mobile. Or you can have like a Super Game Gear that's like this big, and maybe that's what you can be playing. You got to press the button over here, press the button over here. I mean, if you want that, you know, but that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like it's not feasible. The only thing that is feasible is that if Nintendo like put something into the dock, you know, potentially, because there's a power source, you know, like you can do that. That's probably the only way that you can do it in terms of boosting the power or whatever it is. But otherwise, you have to put something in the handheld portion that's not going to explode, that doesn't need a power source of, you know, like a million watts, you know, like you need to put something that's efficient. And there was at the time, there was nothing that was the most efficient. That was the best you could get. That was literally the best chip that you can get. So yeah. Yeah, people legit want 1 minute battery life. Yeah, I know. I mean, Pascal, I don't, the Switch right now is already a middle point between the Xbox One and the Wii U. You know, and that's so that's the thing. It's already right there in the middle. So it's a good middle point. And I think, like I said, next generation, maybe they scratch up to PS4 Pro level. That's what I'm thinking that they're probably going to, but they're probably going to overload it with more memory. And if it's custom, they could actually get more juice out of it than what you would think from the raw numbers, you know. So I think that's what they're probably going to do, you know. Look, Tyrese W. You said you're ashamed of my Dragon Ball references. You could have used more Super Saiyan, Rose, Goku, Black. I told you that. I said excluding Super. I said I don't want to include Super. I said I'm gonna just do regular Dragon, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z. I clearly said I excluded Super. I said just so we can get a baseline thing, because Super is ascended past that. I don't want to put the scale all the way to freaking pink-haired Gokus and blue-haired Gokus and all this stuff like that. That's too much of a scale. I wanted to use the original Dragon Ball Z scale so people can have a better sense. It would look bad if I said that Nintendo was just Super Saiyan and then like they still have all the way to go, all the way to that. That wouldn't be right. So I decided to use from a Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 4 level, so you guys can clearly see that Nintendo is at 25% of their max. That was simple. Okay, I made that clear. But thank you. I do appreciate the $5 donation, Tyrese W, through Super Chat. If any of you guys, if you have a song request, let me know and I'll hit up that song request as well. Also, you guys can use Streamlabs if you guys want to donate. Super Chat's cool, but Streamlabs would be preferred if you want to. So appreciate that though. And shout outs to the 205 people watching. Also shout outs to Lapis Sangus for the follow. Thank you so much, homie. Do appreciate it. Welcome to the Fire Nation, homie. Please enjoy your stay, and everyone in the chat, please make it feel very welcome. So yeah, so let's see here. Okay. Okay, Kingpin. Yeah, that guy exposed me for real. He sure did, with zero proof. Yeah, that was funny stuff on Twitter. I'm not talking about my Twitter escapades because some of you guys hate my Twitter escapades. Some of you guys love my Twitter escapades, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on my going over Twitter escapades on my live streams. So don't really feel like talking about it. But yesterday there was an idiot with 0 followers that decided to talk a lot of smack. So it was funny just destroying him over and over and over and over. And that's pretty much what I use Twitter for, is just to have fun and talk smack. But like I said, I don't know what's it about, because like I said, it's Black History Month, and I've had nothing but cool people tell me, hey man, I appreciate what you're doing. Of course, all sorts of people from all over the world, all different colors, and all of that. So I've had all sorts of people say stuff, but man, it seems to me like for some people, Black History Month brings the coonery out of just so many other Black content creators. Like, it's just, they just want to go on the attack, or I don't know what it is. For some people, like I said, I don't know what it is about this month that just kind of triggers some other Black people to act all crazy on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, that's been happening to me, where just people just randomly attacking me, Black people. So it's just find it interesting. But shout outs to everyone who's been helping me out for this month, man. It's been great. I've had a lot of nice people say things, have a lot of nice people come up to my subscribe and donate and all that stuff, and so thank you guys so much. I do appreciate that. Shout outs to Tyrese W with another $2 donation through Super Chat. Says, just a joke, man, nothing serious. Hey, just wanted to make sure that we got it straight, man. Just wanted to make sure that we got it straight. Also, shout outs to Mr. Theron Says for the subscription. Thank you so much, homie. Welcome to the village, PlayerEssence. Please enjoy your stay. Everyone in the chat, please make Mr. Theron Says. Did I say Theronosaurus? I forgot what I said. Theron says. I don't know. I'm sorry, dude. Mr. T. I pity the fool that subscribes to my channel. No, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Also, shout outs to Squid Vicious, donated $2. It says, put my dollars in your pockets. Keep up the great work. Keep up the fantastic work and great content. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that, Squid. There's no need for you to donate. You already do. But I do appreciate that. So yeah, Jumpman says he definitely prefers the Nintendo Switch over the PS4. I mean, everybody has their preferences. I mean, I don't have a problem with somebody says that they prefer the PS4 over the Nintendo Switch, or if they prefer Xbox One X. I mean, everyone has their own preferences and all things like that. Also, shout outs to DJ King Gaming for the $1 donation through Super Chat. Shout outs to DJ King, man. Thank you. I appreciate the dollar. So I'll put your dollar in my pocket. So maybe for those who don't know, you guys probably like, what is he doing that dollars in your pockets? It was a live stream that I did. I'll probably have to do a video on it so you guys know, and whenever someone says, why is he doing that, or what's that from, I can always just like make sure you guys know the story of dollars in your pockets. Maybe I'll recreate it with Toby. Maybe that'll be interesting. Maybe that'll be interesting to recreate what happened that night when I think I was a freshman in high school. Yeah, I was a freshman in high school. We were playing Devil May Cry. We were flipping dollars. We were flipping dollars. His dad just kind of, my friend's dad just kind of busted into the door and was like, hey fellas, put your dollars in your pockets. And And it was so funny when he busted open the door, bro. I had like $40 crumpled all in my hand, and I had like $2 like folded, and I was into it, and I was like, no problem, Mr. Cater. As soon as that door shut, I was like, hey man, double or nothing. Double or nothing. We flipping right now. Let's go. Oh my god. So let's see here. LOL, OJ, I reckon it's just the winter blues. Mid-February is the coldest, most miserable month of the year. Also, there's a lot of controversy with leaks and different opinions surrounding them. Yeah, man, I mean, I think that's just really what it is. It's just great to see all the different people. Like, usually, like I said, usually it's pretty bad. You know, like, sometimes people can be really disrespectful and things towards my channel. But, like, in terms of everyone, like I said, all races, everybody can all come here and it's fine. But it just seems like there's been certain people that are, like, literally, not just me, attacking other black content, like black people attacking other black content creators, like, which is ridiculous to do on, you know, in Black History Month. Whereas I have not seen that from anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's probably some people, obviously, but like, I just find it hilarious, or sad, more like it. It's just sad that they would come out over plastic. You know what I'm saying? Like over pieces, over video games and systems. You know what I'm saying? Over if someone like plays games, like, do you play games? Like stuff like that, like this, like that type of stupidity over what? Over video games. It's so stupid. But anyway, shout outs to Jumpmon with the $20 donation. It says, I can understand that. Also, want to talk Shin Megami Tensei later in the stream. Also, play Persona 5 Alley Cat. Okay, that was very interesting. That was very interesting. Yeah, man. It just happens. Yeah, and Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, sure, we can talk Shin Megami Tensei. We'll do a Q&A, and you can ask a question. And I have no problem talking about Shin Megami Tensei and all that. So yeah, man. I'm not talking about anybody particular. I'm just saying, like I said, I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about just in general. There's just people in general that are just going around attacking other people. And I just find it interesting. I find it interesting that, you know, like, coonery is still going on. But hey, whatever. Do whatever they want. If you guys want to attack creators, attack creators. I mean, you shouldn't attack anybody on any month, but I just find it so funny that people are so, like, they defend their piece of plastic like it's like a sword and shield. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they have to go to war with a video game system. Like, I have all the systems. Like, I have, that's what a lot of people don't know. Like, they'll sit there and talk smack. Like, here's my Xbox One Elite controller. This costs half as much as the Switch almost. Okay? Here's my it's kind of dusty. Here's my PS4 controller. I have all the systems. I've got a gaming PC. Here's my cool iBuyPower mouse. Okay, it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right here. Here's my iBuyPower mouse. I mean, I have a gaming PC. I have literally everything. People don't understand preferences. They just don't understand if someone has a preference for something, you know. Also, shout outs to Twitch can't ban me for the follow. Thank you so much, homie. Do appreciate it. Welcome to the Fire Nation. Hopefully enjoy your stay, homie. So yeah, man. Exposed by dusty PS4. No, it's just the controller's just kind of dusty. I haven't played it in a while. The controller's just kind of dusty, but I mean, there's nothing. I'm saying, like, I used to play it a lot. I put 80 hours plus into Persona. Yikes, hold up. I put over 80 hours into Persona and I beat the game. So I mean, that's good enough, right? There just hasn't really been anything since Persona that's gotten me interested. Like, once there's something that gets, like, Spider-Man, I'll probably go pick up Spider-Man. Oh, God of War. I'll pick up God of War. I'll pick up Spider-Man. Those are two games I'll pick up this year for the PS4 when they're cheaper. When they're cheaper, not at launch, but when they're cheaper, I'll pick those up. So, I mean, it's not like I hate the PS4. It's just when there's a game that's good, I'll pick it up. You know, like God of War looks to be okay. Spider-Man's looking pretty good, so I'll get those games. You know. So yeah. Yeah, people are dumb. Yeah, essentially. Yeah. OJ, you're my boy, and you got a Steel Series boy. Okay. Also, shout outs to Historic Duel with the $5 donation through Super Chat. It says, couldn't donate up until now because of finances. Here you go. Also, play this tune, Sound of the Great Mountain, Monster Hunter Tribe music extended. No problem, dude. And yeah, no rush or anything like that. I do appreciate anything. Heck, you watching is good. If you watch my videos with no ad block, dude, that's fine. You don't. But yeah, I do appreciate the donation, homie. And yeah, I'll definitely play that for you. You said Monster Hunter try Great Mountain. All right, I think I see it here. Actually, I don't think I see it here. Sound of the Great Mountain. Okay, is it called Sound of the Great Mountain? Of the Great Sound of the. Oh, okay, I see it. I see it here. Okay, give it a couple seconds. Then, if you guys let me know how the music sounds. If it's too loud, too low. Sounding okay, guys? Jose gotta eat. All right, take it easy, Paul. You can watch the replay later. Too loud? Just about right. Okay. I turned it down just a little bit. So it should be okay right here. I'll turn it down a little bit more. Alright, there you go. That should be good. That should be good. This is good music, though. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here, guys. We're going to talk about some Mega Man. So, Mega Man Legacy Collection, we do have some details on that. That game is coming out on May 22nd. And it's going to cost, it is going to cost, I think, $39.99. Yeah, it's going to cost $39.99. So let me just pull up the details exactly. So yeah, $39.99. But the biggest thing about this, guys, is that people are already freaking out because it's physical, but it's just like Resident Evil Revelations. You're going to need, to download Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 digitally. That's going to be about 5 gigabytes. Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 will come on cartridge. The Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 will be a digital download, download code. So it's going to essentially be the exact same thing as Resident Evil Revelations. So it's the exact same thing as the Revelations Collection, which I expected it to be. If Capcom did that, I mean, I thought they would do the same thing. But the thing that's pissing people off about it, or people that are like upset, is because the Legacy Collection is just so much smaller. They thought that you can put both of them on one cart, but I already knew Capcom wasn't going to put both of them on one cart, because that would mean Capcom would actually have to spend a little bit more money, because the Legacy Collection is 5 gigabytes, and I think the Legacy Collection 2 is 5 gigabytes, and the Legacy Collection 1 is like, was it 3 or 4 gigabytes? So that would put the game at like 8 gigabytes, and Capcom's like, you know what? If we just put Legacy Collection 1, I knew they were going to go cheap route. Just put Legacy Collection 1, get the smallest card that can fit it, and then just make it a download code. So then you can even save more money on cartridge space. So, and then just charge $39.99. So I mean, I knew exactly what they were going to do. So I knew exactly what they're going to do with it. I mean, people are going to complain whenever it's not, like whenever you have to download something extra, people are going to complain. People are always going to complain. It doesn't matter what it is, people are going to complain about that. So I can see both sides. I think that it's small enough to where Capcom probably should have just spent the extra money. But at the same time, it's like, I already knew that they were going to do some type of cost-cutting measures, because you're getting both of those games in one package, whereas PS4 and Xbox One users did not get both of those. I mean, they spent a lot more on the games, right? I mean, at least, I mean, if you bought them at launch, you spent a lot more. Plus, you get added bonuses and things like that. There's actually some amiibo functionality, too, and some exclusive stuff, too. So, I already knew Capcom was going to do... They're going to put in some sweet stuff for Switch owners, but they're also going to do some things like silly, like weird or silly business decisions. And that's definitely the silly business decision. That's definitely the weird thing that they're going to do. And I don't know why people like, it happens every single time. It happened with Resident Evil Collection, and I knew it was going to happen with this. So I was like, I doubt we're going to get like 2 cartridges. I doubt they're going to put both of them on one cartridge either, you know, because then like resales, like, you know, stuff like that. So I just knew that they were going to do something like that. And it's, what did Capcom do? They did the same thing. However, this is the same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo has done the same thing as well. Although Bayonetta's a lot bigger. Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2. 1 comes download, 2 comes on cartridge. So this is the type of stuff that you're going to see on the Nintendo Switch with cartridges, at least in the first year. Maybe once the prices get cheaper, maybe we'll see that more. But right now, like, a lot of developers are just going to do that until like the 32 gigabyte is going to be like the, you know, the same standard price. Yo, shout outs. All right, so yo, shout outs to George hitting us with that Toby blaster, hitting us with that big donation, that Toby blaster. And George has to say this. He says, had a great time playing Rocket League the other day. Can you play Dr. Wily's Castle Mega Man 2? Thanks. Absolutely. You want the Smash Bros rendition of that? I'm thinking you want the Smash Brothers rendition of that, right? I think you do. And thank you so much, George. I appreciate the $20 donation. And yes, the Rocket League, dude, that was too much fun. I'm thinking about actually having a Rocket League like tomorrow morning. So like, if I can get all my work done, I'm thinking about having Rocket League tomorrow morning. Like, that's how bad I want to play it. It might just be Twitch only though, so you guys have to come over to Twitch. But yeah, it's probably just gonna be like a Twitch only thing. But just look out, be on my social media. I'll let you guys know. But I'm seriously thinking about having like a little mini PE arena tomorrow for Rocket League, if you guys can in the morning. So whoever's available, I'll just play kind of maybe with anybody. Just get some people in there, because yo, because you can use passwords. So. Yo, man, Rocket League was fun. Oh my god, it was so fun, man. It was so fun. And it feels like skill. It doesn't feel like, some of it, like, probably like a tiny bit felt like luck, but for the most part, like when Cheezer came in, and Cheezer was, which is Eric Dalbier, and he would like bounce it off there, then kind of like maneuver and like juke people. It felt like, yo, like, if you really work on this game and build your skill up, like, it's all about that. It's not about random items, you know, or anything like that, or just weird online glitches like Splatoon or stuff like that. So man, dude, Rocket League is fun. Rocket League is so fun. Yeah, Rocket League is super fun. But anyway, thank you so much, George. Appreciate the $20 donation. Yeah, tomorrow I got an exam. Yeah, man, I just want to get a little bit more in. This will probably be for my European dudes, since it'll be later in the day for them. They'll probably be able to join me. So I gotta reach out. I gotta play the game again with you guys. Like, I don't want to play it by myself because I didn't find it. I found it great, but I didn't find it that great. Like when I was playing the game on Xbox One, I didn't have any friends. I didn't have anybody to play with. Nobody cared on Xbox One. So give me 1 second, guys. I have someone at my door. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I just gotta fix something for my daughter. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My daughter, it's President's Day, so my daughter has school off today, so I kind of have to watch her and also work. Yeah, Bayonetta 1, I already know about Bayonetta 1 getting a physical copy, but not everyone, that special edition isn't available everywhere, okay? So it's not available everywhere, and most people aren't going to have that special edition. There was limited print of it. Most people aren't going to have it. Like, I already know about that, but that is not the standard thing, and that's not everywhere. So I'm well aware that there is a physical copy, but it's not available for everyone. So, I mean, there's nowhere that I could buy it here in the US. Like, I couldn't go to the store and say, oh, give me a physical copy of Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2, please. That wasn't available. So, I mean, I don't know why that's not a... I already know that there's a physical copy, but, I mean, it's not available everywhere. It's not available. So Nintendo of America just said, you guys aren't getting that. You know, they didn't print it. They didn't print it out on there. So we've seen Nintendo do it. We've seen multiple companies do it in terms of that. So I'm reading I'm talking, and then I'm also going to read the comments. Chill out. Shout outs to Rex I and hitting us with that subscription. That Jutsu, thank you so much, homie. Do appreciate that, Rex I. Welcome to the village. Everyone in the chat, please make Rex I feel very welcome. OJ, can you? I already read that. Plus, Jumpman donated $20 in the super chat. Not sure if you saw it, and asked you if you played Persona 5. Oh, he wanted me to play the song. Okay, I didn't know he had a song request. I didn't know that. My bad. I read what he said, but I didn't know that was the song request. He didn't say song. Like, all I saw here is. Okay, you said also play Persona 5 Alley Cat. Okay, that's my bad. Okay. That's my bad. Sorry about that, Jumpman. Sorry about that. Okay, this one's a little bit lower. So let me know if you guys can hear that. It should be low, but you should be able to hear it. Oh my god. Okay. What time do you think you'll be on for Rocket League tomorrow? I work at 10:30 your time. I don't know, dude. Like I said, just it'll be up, you know. I don't know exactly when. I'm just saying I'm thinking that I might. I have to see how my workload is, and then I could potentially do it. So yeah. Could we get those likes up, guys? Please, can we get those likes up? This is a great song for Persona 5. It just makes me want to have Persona 5 on the Switch. I've said this a million times, I'll say it again. Persona 5 is a great game, but it's a horrible PS4 game. It's a horrible PS4 game. It'd be better on the Vita. It'd be better on the Switch. It's horrible. It's horrible on the PS4. It's absolutely horrible. It's a great game, but it's horrible on the PS4. I couldn't stand playing Persona on the PS4. I actually bought a Vita so I can play remote play. And then when I was kind of done with remote play, because remote play is kind of trash, but I played tons of hours of remote play. I just sold the Vita. I was like, I sold it back. I played it for a bit, used it, beat the game, did all that, and then I just returned it to Amazon because I couldn't take it. I could not take Persona 5 anymore on the TV. It's ridiculous. Why is Persona 5 bad on the PS4? Sure, I can tell you guys why it's bad. It's bad because it's a game where you literally, this is all you're doing in the game. Move around. Just press each one of the... It's a turn-based RPG. You're talking to people. There's dialogue scenes. There's tons of dialogue. I don't need to be propped up in a chair. I'd rather relax, sit back, and enjoy Persona as some type of blend between high school drama and turn-based RPG. There's so much downtime in the game. Like, you know, so much things that don't involve, like, you know, the fastest reaction. I mean, actually nothing involves the fastest reaction time. It's a completely turn-based RPG. It's not even ATB. You could set it down and leave it and it'll just be there. So, in my opinion, with all the social elements, with all the downtime that you have in that game, why do I need to be propped up on a TV? Why can't I relax and enjoy the story and enjoy the game, you know, like I did Persona 4 Golden? Now, I've played Persona 4 Golden on the PS2, great game. Persona 4 on the PS2, good game. Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita, fantastic, amazing game. because you can just chill and play the game. And it's exactly the reason why Persona 4 Golden sold more than Persona 4. Despite the PS2 being the best-selling system of all time, home console, Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita outsold the PS2 version. Because it just made a game that was already good even way better, being able to just play it the way that it's supposed to be played. Which is, in my opinion, is portable and relaxing, not propped up on a TV. But that's just my opinion in terms of Persona games. They're too lax, they're too chill, and that's exactly the, look, I'm not the only one who says this now. If you've played Shin Megami Tensei, for example, Shin Megami Tensei is being made for the Switch for that reason. The developer even said that himself. He's like, well, you know, they probably don't have the biggest budget, so that's one thing. But he also said, well, we're trying to think about what we wanted to do and what systems that we wanted to have it on. He said that the Switch, you're able to enjoy the high definition graphics that we want, but then you're also able to just relax and grind, you know, grind out battles and demon fusion, like, you know, propped up, like sitting back in a chair. All right, well, this is more Persona, so we can't play that too. So that's what the director of Shin Megami Tensei said. He said that he literally gave that's the reason. Nintendo didn't pay for this. I'm positive Nintendo did not pay for this as an exclusive. They decided to do that because of what the Switch is and because of how Shin Megami Tensei plays. Now, Shin Megami Tensei Persona, they have a lot of similarities. They have demon fusion, they have all that stuff. They share the demons, they share the attacks and everything. And I 100% have to agree. Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS, I never once complained to play that on a TV. I mean, there's been games where I'm like, okay, I wish I kind of, you know, like Kid Icarus Uprising or, you know, other games on the 3DS. I'm like, man, I wish I could have played this on the TV. But there's never a time when I played Shin Megami Tensei 3, or Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS, and I was like, oh man, I really like to play this on the TV. It was great on the 3DS. I was like, this is cool, this is fine. You know, it's slow-paced, it's turn-based. So, I mean, there's no need. There's really no need. I mean, I probably would, I mean, if they ever, like, when they make Shin Megami Tensei, you know, 5 for the Switch, will I play it on the TV sometimes? Yeah, probably. When I'm streaming, but 90% of the time it's going to be, you know, just relaxing. So that's my opinion. That's my opinion on Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, and just turn-based RPGs in general. I don't want to play turn-based RPGs on a system. It's not anymore, not anymore. And I think turn-based RPGs have always worked better on portables. It's just that the portables have always been just so far behind systems in terms of graphical powers and effects. But now we're getting to the point to where Switch is getting up there, you know, where it's getting, I mean, it's getting close. So I don't really see the need to really play a turn-based RPG, you know, on a, you know, not have it on Switch. I don't see a need. I see zero need. Like, and if it's not on Switch, the chances of me playing your game are just, if it's an RPG, if it's a turn-based RPG, the chances of me playing your game is little to none. If it's an action RPG, and if it's not on Switch, I have to really like it. We'll see. But if it's a turn-based Japanese RPG, and it's not on Switch, I'm not gonna play. I'm not putting myself through that again. No way, Jose. Or I'll buy the game for super cheap. I'm not gonna buy it day one like full price. Like, I'll wait. So that's just basically how I see it. OJ, you want Persona 5? Get a PS4. First of all, I don't know if you can see back there, but I have Persona 5, the special edition. Okay, I have the special edition of Persona 5, and I already said I have a PS4 right here, and I already said that I've beat the game, and I've already said that I put well over 80 hours into it, and I already stated that I used the PS Vita and I played the game remote play, and then I returned the PS Vita when I was done. So I played a lot of the game, probably the whole last 30 to 40% of the game in remote play with PS Vita. So why are you telling me stuff? Why don't you pay attention to what I've been saying for the past 20 minutes on my live stream here? Pay attention to what I've been saying. I already told you what's going on. I already have a PS4. Everyone, I mean, most people already know that I have a PS4. I have one. Here's my PS4 controller. You're trolling, but I don't understand that trolling. I don't understand it when I've already stated that I have the game. The game is literally sitting right there behind me. What is that? That doesn't even make sense. Persona 3 is my personal favorite in the series. Oh, absolutely. Hey, OJ, go buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I think you'd like it. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it'd be pretty good. Persona 5, you call it Persona 5 Crimson. OJ, do you want Persona? Okay, hold up. I already read that. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE was awesome on console. I have to disagree. I think Tokyo Mirage Sessions was a great game in general, but it was horrible. It was horrible on console. I disagree. I think Tokyo Mirage Sessions is so good that its faults you can look past them. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a horrible console RPG. It's the Western version is absolutely atrocious. The game is good itself, but the design choices, the censorship is absolutely horrible. I've never docked a game. Like I said, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is so good that it got an 8 out of 10 for stuff that's not even like, I mean, for just major, like a couple major design flaws. But the game is so good, you'll look past it and you'll beat it. But if they made a Tokyo Mirage Sessions remastered and they put it on the Switch to where you don't have to look up and down at the Wii U gamepad, and if you're using a Nintendo Switch Pro or Nintendo Wii U Pro controller, you don't have to use the gamepad as well for the maps. If they actually made everything combined and put it out there and then remove the censorship, then that's perfect sell. That's Super Saiyan 4 Goku right there. That might be one of the best RPGs. If you don't mind the whole anime waifu type of deal, you know, outside of that, that might be one of the best RPGs ever made. The battle system is dope. The combat is clean. The graphics are nice and sharp. The dungeon layouts are good. It's a great game. There's tons of content, hundreds of hours if you want to get everything. Great difficulty. It's a fantastic game, but the design choices in that game bumped it down to an 8 out of 10 for me, which is just it's crazy. Like the little things that made me so infuriated me with that game. The censorship, like I said, I don't usually bump down censorship. Like, you know, censorship it's been happening forever. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions was insulting. That was like insulting censorship. Like I can see slight alterations here and there, but the thing that made me mad was the whole the punk girl or cool girl, like the one where Tsubasa, when she, you know, when the photographer was taking the pictures and she was supposed to be in a bikini, but instead she was inside she was inside shorts, a backwards hat, and like I couldn't, it literally, I dropped at a point because of that. I couldn't take it. That infuriated me. Like, not because I wanted to see her in a bikini. That had nothing to do with it. But the whole tone and the whole message of what they were trying to get through with that, especially since we live in the age of the internet, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions launched in Japan first, like well before in Japan, we all saw that scene, what it was supposed to be, and they changed it. They butchered it. Like, it's like Mr. Rogers edited it. Like, it was just ridiculous. Like, it's like, are adults not going to be playing this game? Is this going to be on Sesame Street? Like, it was too much. It was way too much. It was way too much. But the thing about it is that Nintendo didn't edit or make changes to stuff like Sia and Fire Emblem, Hyrule Warriors, you know, so, you know, it is what it is there. Yeah, exactly. Tokyo Mirage Sessions was absolutely held back by the Wii U. Absolutely held back by the Wii U. Also, shout outs to Hayden with the $2 British pounds donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You said play Futaba Town Day from Pokemon Pearl. Absolutely. I think you said, did you say Pokemon Pearl's your favorite one? Because I know Pokemon Pearl's my favorite. What's good, Ty Bell? How's it going, man? Thank you for the £2 British pounds donation, Hayden. Okay. Twin Leaf. Okay, this one's a short one. All these are super short, so... maybe I'll play it twice. Do you actually like this music, Hayden? That's what I want to know. Do you actually like this? Or is this because you know I like Pokemon Pearl? I want to know. Nintendo showed signs that they're not going to do it anymore. They could have easily censored Xenoblade Chronicles 2 like really bad. Because there's some stuff in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that they easily could have censored. Some outfits, actually a lot of the outfits that a lot of the blades wear could have easily been censored. But they weren't. All the outfits are just like they are in the Japanese version. I mean, I think there's some stuff that's altered or censored in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the most part, but it's for the most part intact. Everything's intact, you know, all the outfits and everything's intact. So yeah. Okay, well, I felt, and that's a valid point. XTC, you said that XTC says, I don't like censorship, but if it doesn't affect the gameplay, I normally don't complain. And I agree, but if it affects story, then that's when I have an issue, when it affects story. That's the issue that I have. I mean, if it doesn't affect gameplay, yeah, obviously censorship, you know, most of the time censorship doesn't affect gameplay. So for example, like, Bravely, I'll replay the theme again, Hayden, because that's just really short. I can understand, for example, like Bravely Default. Bravely Default was also censored. There was a competition or whatever, and Agnes was supposed to wear something called the Bravo Bikini, you know, and she didn't want to wear it. So what's it called? What's the other girl? The blonde-haired girl. I forgot her name. She wears it instead. And in the US version, it's not an actual bikini. It's like kind of like short shorts, you know, when it's supposed to be a bikini. So there was that, but that doesn't affect anything. That doesn't really affect too much I mean, because it was still revealing, you know, it was still revealing. Like they did it. It's not like they put her in like a sweater and like, you know, like long like pants. You know what I'm saying? Like. The problem was, like, it's not that they censored it, it was how much it was censored. It went from a bikini to literally covered from head to toe. Like, I was like, well, that doesn't make sense at all. Like, why is he freaking out? Why is this photographer freaking out over this super, I mean, it didn't even look good. The outfit she looked ridiculous. Like, Tsubasa looked ridiculous in the outfit. She looked absolutely ridiculous. So, Bravely Default, they censored it, but it was nowhere near as egregious. It wasn't anywhere near as egregious. Like I said, I don't mind censorship, but please do not make it to the point where it's like where it completely undermines what the actual scene was supposed to be. Like they literally covered Tsubasa from head to toe. Like they covered her from head to toe. Like it had nothing to do with the original outfit. Whereas Bravely Default was nowhere near as bad. They just made the bikini into like shorts, like booty shorts or whatever you want to call it. So they just lengthened it up a little bit. So that's a lot better than what they did. Like I said, I don't like the creators getting their stuff censored. You know what I'm saying? So that's essentially what my issue was. You know, yeah, that outfit was absolutely ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And the problems that the Japanese version released well before, you know, the what's it called, the English version. That was also another problem. So yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different skimpy outfits in Bravely Default, which, like, when they came over to America, they didn't censor too much of it. They just, that Bravo bikini, when they censored that, they censored maybe a couple other things, but it was nowhere near as bad as, like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions was the worst bit of censorship that I've ever, like I said, I docked the whole point. Like, you know, when I was, I mean, you guys can watch my review. Just look up Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I have my review. I glow about, the game is amazing, but man, I can't believe I had to dock a whole point. I had to, because in two separate parts, the censorship was just too much, too strong a censorship. And then also the Wii U gamepad, like looking back and forth with the Wii U gamepad, like, and also line on the back of the box. The back of the box says you can use a Pro Controller or you can use a Wii U gamepad, but it really should say, there really should be a disclaimer saying that if you use the Pro Controller, that you have to also use the gamepad. Because, for example, if your gamepad breaks and you don't have the gamepad, you're not going to be able to access messages. You're not going to be able to see the messages on there. You know what I'm saying? So they should have actually put Pro Controller plus gamepad, because there are essential and vital functions, like some of the map stuff and all that, that you simply cannot see without the gamepad. So I think that was also a little bit of, I wouldn't say false advertisement, but a little bit deceptive in terms of things. They did the same thing with Xenoblade Chronicles X. You need the gamepad for certain things, so if it breaks, you can't just use a Pro Controller, and that's the main problem that I have. Or if your gamepad is out of commission, or if your gamepad dies, or whatever the case is, you got to use the gamepad for certain things. And I don't understand why anybody would think that it's a good idea to make you use two controllers for a game. to make you literally alternate back and forth between controllers. So that's why Tokyo Mirage Sessions also got docked another point for 8 out of 10 because of those two things. So, all right, take it easy, Nicholas. Take it easy, man. Get to work. Get to work, my guy. Get to work. Bring all the RPGs to Switch. Absolutely. 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 Batman? I don't know if Batman was censored on the Wii U. Nintendo didn't make Batman. So I don't know why Nintendo doesn't censor their own games. Or sorry, Nintendo doesn't censor third-party games that they have no affiliation with. So I don't know anything about that. So yeah. Blame Miyamoto. Yo, I'm getting destroyed in Final Fantasy VI in this Savin's Quest. I barely got out of the Ghost Train, but now in the world map, I just get destroyed. Any suggestions? Start over and grind more. Yeah, man, go back, start over and grind more. You gotta grind, bro. Like, that game is not like, I mean, unless you're really talented and you know exactly what to do and like what to pick and what people to use, you're gonna have to be a simpleton like me and grind. You know, in RPG games, it's not like I'm strategically better than most people. Like, I just power up, I just level up, then I just go through the game to where it's not too hard, or to where it's like just hard enough, you know. So yeah, man. David T says that is possible. Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Okay. The Wii U tablet, he ruined Star Fox. Yeah, the Wii U. I mean, I don't know. There's people that love the Wii U gamepad integration in Star Fox, but then there's people who hate it. I personally feel that they probably shouldn't have done it. I think that Miyamoto was probably the wrong guy for Star Fox at that time. His ideas, and it just wasn't a good idea. It just wasn't a good idea for that. But you know, it is what it is. Willem Jones says, PlayerEssence, liked your video on purchasing Bayonetta. I know you said Nintendo shouldn't acquire developers, but what about Platinum as a whole? If the price is right, yeah, they could acquire them if the price is right. But come on down. No, I'm joking. But if the price is there, then definitely. But at the same time, Platinum is, you're essentially just buying. You're buying developers. They have no IPs. I mean, I hope you guys know that Platinum literally owns nothing. So they're not as valuable as, I mean, they're getting some, they're getting some of their own IPs, but they're not really that valuable. That's why nobody's bought them at this point. They're not super, I mean, one, you have to be in Japan, and that's why Koei Tecmo or all the other companies, nobody will buy Platinum because they don't own anything. Like, they don't own any IPs at this point. So it's much cheaper and much more cost effective. If you want Platinum to work for you, pay them to work for you. Contract them. I mean, Nintendo still, to this day, doesn't own Next Level Games. And look at how many titles Next Level has made for Nintendo. Next Level has essentially been almost a first-party developer. They're not first-party, but they've almost been that for Nintendo. They've developed multiple games for them over the years, helped them out with various projects, and yet Nintendo still has not purchased Next Level. They have a long-term contract. I think they said like a while ago they had like a 10-year deal with Nintendo. So if you want Platinum Games exclusively, contract them. You can contract them for, say, hey, 5-year deal, make 3 or 4 games, we'll pay you. If things go well, maybe we do, you know, maybe we buy you after that, maybe we don't. But there's really no need to purchase them because Nintendo has access to Platinum and all their developers if they want. You know what I'm saying? If Nintendo wants to make a game exclusive, they can do it. Buying them and paying for them and paying for all their health insurance and paying for everything that they have there that they need as a business decision, I don't know if I'd do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say buy Platinum, but they don't think about the business, like the business sense. Like, you can just contract Platinum, you know? Like, think if you were working for a big company and you needed supplies and you have a supplier that's great. Are you just gonna go out there and buy that company? No. I mean, will you contract them to maybe help you out? I mean, think of recruiting agencies. There are recruiting agencies out there that live essentially being contracted out. Contractors. Find us workers. We'll pay those workers. We'll pay you to find people. And why do they do that? Because it saves them money over the long term, because those contracting agencies will take care of their health insurance, will take care of all that, and all you got to do is pay them that rate, and they take over, they take a lot of the overhead. So think of it that way. Nintendo can just contract them and not have to worry about all the other stuff that comes with the employees, and just contract them to make their games. They'll take care of that on their own, and you get the product. You get what you want. So and like I said, contracting, like I used to work as a not as a in a recruiting agency, okay? So I used to work in one, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business. You know, when companies could easily just hire their own people, but why do they still hire these other people to get other people for them? Because in the long term, in the long term, it's cheaper for them, you know, and they get what they want. You get your worker, you don't have to worry about everything else. So I mean, Nintendo could buy Platinum, but in the long term, does it make sense? Because they don't own anything. They don't own any IPs. No, it actually makes more sense to just contract them. Do a long-term contract, say 10 years. Heck, that's cheaper than just outright buying them, because they still have to pay their own bills. They still have to pay their own, like, you know, the lights inside their places and all that. Like, Nintendo doesn't pay for all that. You know, they just pay for what they need. So it's just cheaper to do that. So I don't see Nintendo buying Platinum, but maybe. So one of these days, but not anytime soon. Just if you want Bayonetta 4's exclusive, give them Bayonetta. Give them the money for Bayonetta 4's exclusive. I mean, if you want Mad World, just give them the money for Mad World. If you want Vanquish 2, give them the money for Vanquish 2. Like, Nintendo could have anything that they want. Just give them the money for it. You don't need to buy them to get it. Just give them the money. And Platinum doesn't even own any of those things that I talked about. Platinum doesn't own any of that crap. Sega owns all of that. So just work with Sega, work with Platinum, get the game that you want. So, thanks, man. Appreciate that, IQ. You said listening to you at 35K in the air. Nice, man. Appreciate that, homie. Do appreciate that. Nintendo is hesitant on purchasing studios. Absolutely, El Chupacabra. You bring up a good point. I talked about this the other day. I think they've purchased 3 in like 30 years. So they average about 1 every decade. So maybe they're coming. Maybe they'll make an acquisition pretty soon here, because it's been a while since their last acquisition was Monolith Soft, I think back in like what, 2009 or something like that. 2010, 2009, 2008, somewhere in that area they bought Monolith Soft. So yeah, we're coming up on a decade here. So maybe they make an acquisition. But I would think that, I mean, what if your Next Level Games? If your Next Level Games, and you're like, man, we've been faithfully working with Nintendo for like 10 years now, and you guys can't purchase us. You guys gonna go purchase Platinum Games over us, and you know. But I mean, Next Level doesn't really own any IPs either. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the future. Take it easy, Jumpman. Thanks for coming out to the stream, man. The volume is low. There's nothing I can do with the volume, guys. There's nothing I can do. You're gonna have to turn up the volume on your set, just because there's nothing I can do with it. There's nothing that I can do, because the volume is as loud as it's going to be. That was my own system volume, but there's nothing I can do. The mic is at its loudest it's possibly that it can be, and there's nothing I can do to change the mic volume. So unfortunately, you're just gonna have to deal with it or turn up the volume on your end. So yeah, man. OJ, did you think that Capcom will do the same for Mega Man X Collection? Yeah, Capcom will do the same for the Mega Man X Collection. Like, why is this even... This shouldn't even be a question at this point. Yes. They've done it with everything so far, so that it shouldn't even be... But well, hold up. No, it won't be the same. Sorry, it won't be the same. The Mega Man X Collection will be released in 2 separate things. The reason why they're doing this with the Mega Man Legacy Collection is because you're getting both games in one. The Mega Man X Collection will be split up. One of them is going to launch at one point, then the other one's going to launch at the next point. So I think you're gonna get 2 separate cartridges. Sorry, you're gonna get 2 separate cartridges. Because both of these they're gonna be 2 separate games. So they're not gonna do the same thing. Sorry. The Mega Man X Collection is going to be split up into 2. From what we know, it is going to be split up into 2. So no, you're going to get 2 physical. You're going to get 2 physical editions. So yeah, man. 2007. Okay, 2007. So yeah, we're past a decade now of Monolith Soft being at Nintendo. So maybe they buy somebody coming up here. Maybe they finally bite the bullet and buy buy Next Level Games. Maybe they do that. Personally, for me, I'd spend my money on franchises. Like I wouldn't buy I don't think at this point there's no need to buy developers. Like, you should spend money on franchises. That's what you should spend your money on, because there are port studios. There are studios everywhere. Like, everywhere there are studios. There's Panic Button. There's Blue Hole Games or whatever. There's Virtuos. You know what I'm saying? There is Straight Right. You just have studio after studio after studio that you can go to. So I wouldn't buy developers. You can just buy. I wouldn't buy studios. I would just buy franchises. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would just buy franchises. Like, I don't think there's any need to buy any other developers or studios out there. They purchased Monolith Soft because they needed Monolith Soft. Nintendo needed a developer that could make RPGs with the best of them. Nintendo did not have a first-party actual developer that can make RPGs with the best of them. Nintendo's best RPG over the years is Pokemon, and that's joint ownership with, you know, the Pokemon Company, with Game Freak, with all of that. So that's not, I mean, it's ownership, but it's not sole. You know what I'm saying? It's not sole ownership, complete control. That's the best that they've had. They needed somebody that can come in and make a Final Fantasy. They needed someone that can come in and make a Dragon's Quest. They needed someone that they can say, hey, when we want an RPG done, this is the team that can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what Nintendo's been missing over the years. And they got it. They got that. That's all they needed. They have every other type of developer for the most part. They have every other type of developer that they want, not developer that they need, like a sports studio or anything like that. They don't care. But they needed someone that can come on and do that, because they didn't have anybody that can do that, you know? Look at the N64. The N64 was atrocious for RPGs. Absolutely atrocious. Nintendo didn't make anything. Paper Mario, that was it. I mean, they had intelligent systems. They had intelligent systems, but intelligent systems can't come in and can't make a Final Fantasy. Intelligent systems can make segmented RPGs. They can make a turn-based RPG. They can make a strategy RPG, but can they make a Final Fantasy? I don't know about that, because remember, Intelligent Systems was, you know, strategy. That's what they were about. Advance Wars. You know, they were about that turn-based strategy, grid-based type of combat. That's what they're good at. They're good at Paper Mario. They're good at that, turn-based. But can they come in and make a huge Final Fantasy style of RPG, whether it's turn-based, whether it's action? I don't know. I don't think Intelligent Systems can. So they needed someone to come in and make that style of game. And on top of that, Nintendo still wanted people to make Fire Emblem, so you can't stretch Intelligent Systems too thin, you know, with them. Okay, well, come in and make us a Final Fantasy. Okay, now make us a Fire Emblem. Now make us a Final Fantasy. Like, they needed somebody else. So that's the reason why they bought them, out of necessity, and they haven't bought anybody since. So, so yeah, man. Good Feel might be bought. I mean, how much does Good Feel? Good Feel would cost, like, what, $5? No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I mean, that's true, Good Feel. But, like, once again, I mean, do you need to purchase Good Feel? Do you need to? I don't know if you need to purchase Good Feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you need to. You know? Yeah, Quest 64 was awesome. Absolutely awesome. J2 Blue says, I think Nintendo has enough developers. They need to focus on making more new IPs. I don't know if they need to focus. Like, that needs to be the primary focus, is making new IPs. Absolutely not. I don't think so. Not for Nintendo, at least. I think the focus needs to be expanding. Expanding and getting more IPs onto your system. Getting more third-party support onto your system. But does Nintendo need to actually focus? Okay, guys, let's huddle around a table. Let's get new IPs. Does Nintendo need to do that? Absolutely not. Unless you want to drive yourself into not making as much money. Nintendo needs to release Mario. Nintendo needs to release Zelda. Nintendo needs to release Pokemon. Nintendo needs to release these games. I think Nintendo needs to maybe potentially have some people to look at some of their older franchises and bring those back. F-Zero, Golden Sun, stuff like that. But does Nintendo need to focus on new IPs? Absolutely not. They can get a team together and just say, hey, let's make a new IP like they did with ARMS. Hey, the Mario Kart team, hey, guys, let's make a new IP. They make a new IP. But for the general focus, no. That's definitely what I don't want them to focus on. I want them to focus on making great games and utilizing their IPs. That's what's great about Nintendo, is that they utilize their IPs and they make great games. It's about the gameplay. Whenever anybody says that, oh, Nintendo needs to focus on making new IPs, I say that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, because Nintendo, it's all about the gameplay. So they need to focus on bringing back some of those gameplay styles that they had with some of their IPs. They need to focus on the IPs that they have and bringing those back in interesting and new ways. That's what I think that they can focus on a little bit, because they have a lot of IPs that are out there. Like I said, F-Zero. Everyone wants F-Zero. How do you bring back Star Fox in a good way? How do you bring back Golden Sun in a good way? How do you bring back some of these other lost IPs that they have? You know, how do you bring them back in ways that's going to be interesting, fun, and unique through gameplay? So I think that should be a little bit more of the focus than saying we need to huddle around and make a new IP, you know. But that's just my opinion. But I mean, that's the argument that I always heard in the Wii era. That was like the go-to argument, or the go-to comment from N4G. It's like, oh, whenever you see a good game come out for the Wii, oh well, Nintendo, oh, a Mario game, oh, one of the best Mario games ever made, Mario Galaxy. Oh, Nintendo needs to make a new IP. Oh, I'm just so tired of 97 rated Mario Galaxy. Oh, or when Nintendo makes, like, you know, Zelda to like Princess. Oh my god. Oh god, another Zelda. Oh, oh no. Oh, I just can't take how good Zelda is. Make a new IP. For the love of new IPs, make a new IP. That was always what I heard there, man. Oh man. But it's all good. But I do agree that Nintendo could definitely get some people on, making sure that they, you know, release a new IP every year and a half, you know, 2 years, get a new IP out there. So I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Sony should make Legend of Dragoon 2. Sony doesn't gotta listen to anything that you say or anybody says. At this point, Sony doesn't gotta listen to anybody. If they were gonna make a Legend of Dragoon 2, we'd see it by now. There will be no Legend of Dragoon 2 until there is a significant opportunity of a team who wants to make Legend of Dragoon 2. And Nintendo has no teams that can make Legend of Dragoon 2, so they'd have to outsource it. So there has to be a third-party developer that's willing to make Legend of Dragoon 2. And I just don't see anybody who wants to step up to the plate and say, yeah, I want to make a Legend of Dragoon 2. That's not indie. I think indie developers would love to, but I don't see any major developer stepping up to the plate and say, let's make a Legend of Dragoon 2. Now, I could be wrong. We could see something at E3, and I hope I'm wrong. I actually hope I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll call myself out. How about that? I'll call myself out, and I'll say, I was wrong. Legend of Dragoon 2 is here, but who's going to make it? That's the biggest thing. You know. That's fine if you want unique and cool IPs like ARMS and Splatoon, but Nintendo didn't focus on the focus of Nintendo wasn't on making new IPs. They just decided to make a new IP. ARMS and Splatoon are 2 IPs out of how many that they've released from their older franchises. We've gotten so many older franchises or sequels compared to 2 new IPs in how many years, you know? So ARMS and Splatoon were never a focus at Nintendo. It was just that they had an idea. This is how Nintendo makes games. Nintendo thinks of an idea for a game. They think of an idea. They say, okay, we want to do this in this game. And then they go over their IPs and they say, okay, well, what IP will fit? Okay, will this fit? Will this fit? Will this fit? No, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. And if you look at what Splatoon 2 is, and if you look at what ARMS are, both of those are shape-shifting, morphing type of things with humanoid characters, or squidinoid, with humanoid style of characters. Nintendo doesn't want Mario doing stuff like that in like a multiplayer shooter, so Mario doesn't fit. Like Star Fox doesn't fit Splatoon, like Zelda doesn't fit Splatoon, ARMS doesn't fit, or like Mario doesn't fit ARMS. A lot of their IPs just don't fit what they're trying to do, so therefore we got 2 new IPs. It wasn't like they're like, we're going to make a new IP, and then they made ARMS, and then they made all. They said they had a gameplay concept first, and when it doesn't fit their IPs, they instead go to say, okay, well then we're going to make a new IP. So essentially, there has to be a new gameplay idea that doesn't fit what they're looking at, and then if it doesn't fit, then you get that new IP. But if they have a gameplay idea and it fits what they're looking for, and there's a developer available to make that game that can make a quality game, you're going to get a sequel and something, or you're going to get a new type of game. You're not going to get a new IP. So it just so happens that Splatoon and ARMS were ideas that didn't fit any of their other IPs. And there you go. That's how Nintendo does it. Now, Sony, on the other hand, says, we're going to make a new IP. And then they make the game. Nintendo's the opposite. Nintendo makes the game, then says, okay, then we're going to fit it to this. So that's how it works. So yeah, Squidinoid. Yeah, I know, Squidinoid. PlayerEssence, what dormant IP should Nintendo buy? I think Virtual Fighter would be a good one. A traditional 3D fighting game for Switch would cool, even though they have Pokken. Oh, well, Pokken's not really a traditional 3D fighting game. It's actually a weird hybrid between like some type of action game and and a 2D fighting game. Actually, that's what Pokken is. But should they buy Virtual Fighter? I wouldn't buy Virtual Fighter. If Nintendo wants Virtual Fighter, Nintendo should pay for Virtual Fighter. Nintendo should pay and say, hey, Sega, you have a team that can make Virtual Fighter? Yeah, we have a team that can make Virtual Fighter. Okay, here's some money, make a Virtual Fighter. If the game sells, okay, hey, Sega, maybe you want to make a Virtual Fighter, the next Virtual Fighter? Sure, make another Virtual Fighter. I wouldn't outright buy Virtual Fighter, because then what if you make Virtual Fighter and Virtual Fighter sucks? Now you're just stuck with the IP. You just spent money on this franchise that sucks. What if your rendition of Virtual Fighter isn't as good? What if Nintendo fans don't like Virtual Fighter? What if we don't buy it? Now you're stuck with this IP that you just paid millions and millions of dollars for. Whereas if you just say, hey, give me a rental, let me just get it. It's like a rental car, guys. Like, you can buy a car if you're gonna go out of town, or you can rent a car. If you buy a car, it's gonna cost you a lot more money, but you get to keep it. If you rent the car, you just get what you need. Maybe you're not ready to buy a car yet. Maybe you're not ready. Just rent one. Rent one, see how you're doing, or like a rental agreement, or like a lease. You know what I'm saying? It's why people lease stuff, right? I mean, maybe you're ready to buy it, maybe you're not. You know, sell it back, do whatever you need to do, but you don't need to commit fully. So that's the biggest thing. Is like there's no need to commit to these franchises. Nintendo can just, if Nintendo wants Virtual Fighter, just buy Virtual Fighter. See how it goes. You don't have to commit. You don't have to commit to it. Just say, I'm all in. And just, I mean, you have no idea how it's gonna do. Like just pay for Virtual Fighter, and if it does well, then pay for another one. Then maybe if that one does well, then maybe you think about buying them. I personally feel Nintendo's going to buy Bayonetta. I think this is going to be between. I think this is the test run. Bayonetta 1 and 2, which seemingly is doing very well in terms of sales, and then Bayonetta 3. I think Bayonetta 3 is going to be like, we've got to show up and buy Bayonetta 3, guys. Like, we really got to show up and buy Bayonetta 3. If Bayonetta 3 sells like let's just say it sells like it needs to do better than ARMS, it needs to do better than Xenoblade. Let's say it sells in the 3 to 4 million range, which it should, for the quality of the game it should. I think if it sells that well, I honestly feel Nintendo will pull the trigger on Bayonetta. At this point, Nintendo will pull the trigger, but it needs to do really well. So I think everyone needs to come out. I mean, Bayonetta 3, I mean, obviously, like, we need to wait and see if it's a good game. Now, I'm assuming that the game is amazing. So that's what I'm saying here. So yeah. The legendary Starfy 2. I hate it. Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. Pikmin was 100 Marios. I need Dead or Alive on the Switch. It'd be nice. They had Dead or Alive on the 3DS, and that was actually really good. That game looked amazing graphically for the 3DS. It looked really good. Virtual Fighter never sucks, but I mean, the old Virtual Fighters, that doesn't mean this Virtual Fighter is going to be good if Nintendo made it. We're not talking about a remaster here, guys. We're talking about a brand new game. I mean, there's been times where, you know, games are good and then they come with a new developer, new publisher, whatever the case is, and then they turn up being bad, you know? So just because something doesn't suck before doesn't mean it won't suck now at this point. Virtual Fighter is great, but I wouldn't sit there and blow money on Virtual Fighter, you know, for no reason. Like, why? Why? There's literally no reason. People think that the gaming industry makes moves faster than it actually does. Yeah, absolutely. People think that you can, you know, snap your finger and you all of a sudden you've purchased Capcom. Like, you walk into the store, I'd like to get a Megaman. I'd like to get a Resident Evil. We get a side of Rival Schools. You have any of that on discount, on sale? Any Rival Schools? No. Okay. All right. No. All right. Well, I'll just take everything. No problem. Exchange the money and then go. It's like not that easy. It's like it's not like that. People think that Nintendo can literally like walk in and like buy Capcom like it's a loaf of bread. Like, it's not. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, man. Anyway, so we moved on from Mega Man, guys. That's launching May 22nd. To get back to, I don't know how we got so off topic, but to kind of get back to what we were talking about, Mega Man. That's Mega Man's launching May 22nd, Nintendo Switch. Go out there and get it if you want. Download card for Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. It's 5 GB download. The first one comes on cartridge. So there you go. All right, Q&A. Q&A time. Q&A time. So, do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions? And if you do have some questions, let me know. And also, if you hit that like button, that would just be amazing if we got to 200 likes. I think that 200 likes, we have more than 200 people watching, so we should definitely get 200 likes. So if we could get 200 likes, that would be dope. That would be dope. Nintendo and Level 5 need to make Pokemon X Yokai Watch, or Cross Yokai Watch, Nintendo Switch game that would be the best selling in Japan history. I don't know if it'd be the best selling in Japan history, and do they need to make it? I don't know if they need to make that at this point. Personally, me, I would just like give me Yokai Watch on the Switch and give me Pokemon on the Switch. Give me 2 games, you know. I don't know if they need to cross them over, but just give me, if you gave me 2 separate games, I'd be happy with that, you know. So yeah. Donald Anderson says, what exactly does Miyamoto do at Nintendo? He isn't directly, he didn't direct Odyssey, so what does that man do? Please explain, OJ. He is a consultant to the younger developers. He's a consultant on a lot of different projects. He also manages Nintendo's outreach program when it comes to movies, and when it comes to the licensing of Mario and the licensing of their products, doing business dealings with that. His official title is, I think, Creative Fellow at Nintendo. He is a creative executive fellow at Nintendo, so he handles more of the creative end stuff. He's like I said, he's like the wise old sage, where he doesn't necessarily, he's not on the ground. You know what I'm saying? He's not directing the troops, but he's there consulting. He's there saying, he's there next to the Hokage, you know, saying, hey, like, you know, this is what's going on. This is what we're doing here, and he manages some things as well. So that's basically what Nintendo does. But his official title is creative fellow. So. That's what he is. He's the creative fellow at Nintendo. So you can just use your imagination, you know, the creativity that he can bring. Pikmin movies, Mario movies, the Universal Studios stuff. That was Miyamoto that was involved in that. Notice how, if you've ever seen Miyamoto, anytime that you've actually seen him is with all the outreach stuff for the most part. I mean, obviously like E3 and things like that, but like he took pictures of the whole Universal stuff. His face was pictured when they talked about the Mario movie. So stuff like that, that's where you're going to see Miyamoto. That's where Miyamoto's, you know, probably going to be, you know, front and center, or somewhat front and center. But actual games, and like most of the stuff that we see on a day-to-day basis, no, you're gonna see the directors you're gonna see all the younger guys now, and you're gonna be seeing a lot more of well, obviously Kimishima, but Koizumi and Shinya Takahashi. They're now the 2 like public faces of Nintendo. Koizumi, to be exact, he is now the face of Nintendo. So yeah, and I think he's gonna become president, you know, in the next 10 years or so. Why buy a bag of bread when you can buy the entire Walmart, right? Exactly. Why buy 10 loaves of bread when you can buy every single loaf there? Pokemon is the best. Pokemon's pretty good. Zach Brown, OJ, what do you think Retro is making? Also, song requests. Chemical Plant Zone. I only do song requests for donations. That's an extra perk for donations, so can't do that. But I can answer your question. Zach Brown says, OJ, what do you, okay, Retro. I don't know what Retro's making. I think they're gonna make some type of new IP action game, but that's just my guess. Or maybe it's Donkey Kong again. Maybe it's Donkey Kong. Also, shout outs to Brian Wind as well. Thank you so much, Brian. I do appreciate that. Welcome to the village, Brian. Hopefully you do enjoy your stay. And of course, everyone in the chat, please make Brian Wind feel very welcome. So yeah. OJ, what's your dream game reveal for Nintendo at E3? My dream game reveal is probably a Monolith Soft's next project. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't need E3. I don't know why everyone's tried to hype up E3 like it's the like Nintendo hasn't had directs that are better, which Nintendo has had directs that are better than E3. So I'm going to just sit and say my next dream reveal would be Monolith Soft's next game, whether it's a Nintendo Direct or whether it's E3. Either one, I'll take it. So yeah. Excuse me. OJ, do you think the future of indie what do you think the future of indie JRPGs? On Twitter, Robert Boyd, Zaboyd Games. Robert, his name is Rebert, mentioned the Cosmic Star Heroine hasn't made enough to break even yet. I don't necessarily think that there's a problem with like the future of them. I think that there's just certain aspects and things that can essentially limit a game from selling as well. There's been indie RPGs and, you know, bigger end games that have done well on the Nintendo Switch. Kamiko is an example of an action kind of RPG game that did extremely well. You also have other titles as well that did really well. Enter the Gungeon, that game. It's not necessarily like a Japanese RPG, but it has that expansive world. There's a lot of different stuff. I mean, you know, in terms of that game, Steamroll Dig necessarily isn't an RPG either, but there is XP. You are leveling, so there's RPG elements that did extremely well. You know, so I don't necessarily think that you know that's like a huge problem, but you know, it is what it is. That's what happens to some games. Some games do better, some games don't, you know. So yeah. Fireblast Gaming says, OJ, I want Nintendo to pay Sega to localize Phantasy Star 2 online as a Switch exclusive for the West and make the Skies of Arcadia sequel. Well, that would be nice, and I also want to fly too. I think I would really like to fly. You missed a lot, It's Gamer for Life. You missed almost the whole thing. So you're gonna have to watch the replay. Yeah, so I want to fly, but I can't. It's just hard. It's hard to do that. Like, I want to sprout wings like Archangel and fly. But no, just to get to your point, yeah, that would be great. But look how many years it's been. It's been years. It's been decades since Skies of Arcadia, and we've gotten nada, zilch, nothing, zero. So I've lost hope at this point. In terms of Phantasy Star, I've lost hope. It's Sega. I've lost hope. So yeah, I'm never gonna turn into Archangel, and we might never get you know, those games that you want. So yeah, man. How to win E3 Snake Pass 2? Absolutely. Retro's new game, Funky Kong: The Awakening. Dude, actually, I'd want to play that game. I'd actually want to play that game. YGG says, OJ, what do you think is the reason why Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 still has no Western release on the Switch? Because the game is glitchy and broken and runs like trash? That would be my best guess, man. I mean, I wouldn't say glitchy. I just say runs like trash. More like it just runs like trash. That's the reason why. Well, I mean, yeah, Nintendo Retro's definitely not making Labo. Don't kill his dreams, OJ, even if it's true. Look, man, I mean, I know the age of Fire Blast. I was alive when these games, like, I was up and cooking when Skies of Arcadia was out, my guy. You know, nobody feels the pain more of Skies of Arcadia than me. I was a teenager when that game came out. I loved it. I've been waiting for new Skies of Arcadia for like literally more than a decade. I didn't play it. I played it at launch. I played it on the Dreamcast when it came out. I played it on the GameCube when it came out. Your boy was there from the beginning, the genesis of Skies of Arcadia, okay? I know how great the franchise is, so nobody's more hurt and broken than me, okay? I've 100%ed both versions of the game, and I was waiting in line. I actually was going to buy the PS2 game, too. I would have camped out if I needed to buy the PS2 version of the game, but there is no PS2 version. They got canceled. So, my dreams are broken. All of you guys' dreams are broken with that game. Alonzo Vine says, OJ, why do people seem to have this issue with indie games? I just don't get this notion that indie games aren't real games. I don't know what people's issues are with indie games. Maybe because they're smaller, they're not as high quality as the bigger games out there, but I don't really see what it is. It's not like if you have less indie games, you get more bigger games. That's the thing that I want to slap people on. It's like, oh, I'm tired of indie games. Dude, I'm so tired of them. Why are they making so many of them? Dude, if you have less indie games, that doesn't mean more big games are coming. It just means that there's less developers. There's clearly more developers now than there were back then. Back then, there wasn't as many developers. Indie games are here because it's easier to make games as a dream job. What if someone said, and this is the reason why I get upset, is because what if you had a dream job in your field, and you wanted to create a game. You know you can create a game, and it's been really hard for you to create games. And then these publishers make it easier for you to create games, and then people just come and crap all over a game that they don't have to buy. I mean, I'd be demoralized if that was me, you know? It's kind of how some people treat small YouTubers. Oh, look at all these crappy, you know, small YouTubers. Oh, their content isn't as good as PewDiePie or isn't as good as this person. It's like, what does us have to do with you? Like, why are you worried about us? Like, if you don't like small YouTubers, then screw off. Then go watch your big YouTubers. But why are we not allowed to just exist? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So that's why I always defend indie games and defend people behind those games, because they're just trying to live their dream, just like anybody else. Just like I'm trying to live my dream of being able to operate my own business and be able to operate my own thing and not have to work for another company, like, and not have to work and do all these other things and jump through hoops and hurdles and all this other stuff. I can build my own community, you know. So I kind of take it. I don't say I take it personal, but it's like I get a little kind of like pissed off, you know, when people say that. It's like, that doesn't make it. You can take away all the indie games. That doesn't make more big games. That just makes more gaps of quality of software. So shut up. I mean, it's annoying when people do that. And like, there's been quite a number of prominent YouTubers that have done that. I mean, a lot of YouTubers don't, but there's been some YouTubers that say, "Oh, I'm tired of indie games," and then they start screaming. I'm like, chill, man. Like, what if somebody said, "I'm tired of YouTubers under 100,000 subscribers. I'm tired of all them. You guys suck." How would you feel? You would feel bad, right? Or what if you worked for a small company that's inside, I don't know, any type of business, and there's way bigger companies than you, and then all the customers out there just said, "Oh, well, I'm tired of all these small little crappy companies. I'm only going to buy from the big companies." How would you feel? Exactly, you'd feel horrible. So I can't stand when people do that. It's annoying. It's really annoying. Shout outs to Flip999 with the $5 donation. It says, "Keep the awesome content coming." Absolutely. I don't intend on going anywhere. So yeah. Lewis Tollcross says, "OJ, you are like the builder from Dragon Quest Builders." It's funny how I understand what you're trying to say there. Yeah, helping people see the light, helping people see the content and grow. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just it's annoying when people do that. It's not fun. It's not fun, because I've actually seen people who own small businesses and people who own their own business say that about indie developers, and I'm like, you hypocrite, you freaking hypocrite. Wow, I can't believe you just said that, and you own your own business. You own a small business, or you own your own restaurant that's small, that's not as big as McDonald's, or is not as big as some of these other places. How dare you say that about an independent developer trying to make their own way when you own your own business? I should virtually smack you. I've seen people who own their own business say that about indie developers, and that's hypocrisy at its finest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hypocrisy at its finest there. So, ridiculous. Thanks, Mensa. I appreciate that, man. Shout outs. I just get here and OJ got to deal with people's coonery. Hey man, like it's out there. It's out there. I don't know what's a bigger threat to the colored community, coonery or the triple Ks. I don't know what's a bigger threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the triple Ks you can spot. The triple K you can spot, but coonery comes out of nowhere. It like bites you in the butt. You don't even got to do nothing. You just exist. Like I get other things. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get the coonery. Makes no sense. So comes out of nowhere, man. Like I said, it comes out of nowhere. So, but thank you. I appreciate it, Flip999. I do appreciate the $5 donation, homie. I want to read a comment from Hayden. And he says, "All right, man, take it easy, Vincent. Take it easy, man. Thanks for coming out to the stream." He says, Hayden Bennett says, "I'm tired of the unique, fun, and creative experiences that break the mold of the usual garbage that we get from massive third-party AAA publishers who are scared to do anything different or unusual." Absolutely. If it wasn't for indie, guys, we would never have Rocket League. Think about it. We would never have Rocket League if it wasn't for indie. But I think people, when it comes to indie games, people have their own opinion. It's like, oh, Rocket League, oh yeah, indie. Oh, well, that's not indie. That's a big game. But like anything else, like a smaller type of game, like Mutant Mudds or something like that. Oh, indie, get that crap out of here. You know what I'm saying? Even though Mutant Mudds is really good, you guys should get it. The Mutant Mudds collection is pretty good. But like Minecraft is indie. That was an indie game at one point. You know, like I said, Rocket League was an indie game at one point. So I mean, it's Five Nights at Freddy's back when that was like the biggest rage in the world. That's an indie game. There's so many indie games that are good. There's bad indie games, but there's bad big games too. There's bad AAA games. There's bad AA games. There's bad single A games. There's bad indie games. There's bad and good games in any type of class or category, you know, that you're in. So, what can you do? You know, what can you do? If someone's hating, do I call them Joe Budden? Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I might have to agree with you, Miguel. I might have to agree with you. I might have to agree with you there. Colored, any type of colored, you know, when you attack someone else of your own or someone else there, especially when you know the struggle, you know what I'm saying? Like that's horrible. That's bad. I really dislike that. You know, really dislike that. So. Yeah, you're right. It might be worse than the triple Ks, because the triple Ks, it's like, I mean, you know what you're getting into. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, you know, they wearing pointy hats and stuff. It's like, okay, that's how they operate. That's cool. That they do them. But like, when it's your own, you know, it's like, wow, really? You're gonna attack people like that? But hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah. DJ King has a good point too. He said Azure Striker, Gunvolt, SteamWorld, Golf Story, Shantae, Shovel Knight, list goes on and on. Absolutely, all great games. Azure Striker Gunvolt is as good as any game out there, in my opinion. As good as any game in its genre. Yeah, the graphics aren't as high powered or whatever, but the gameplay, the ideas, the leveling, the type of system that it has, it's as good as any game in its genre. Any Mega Man style of game, it's just as good, if not better. So yeah, Azure Striker Gunvolt is amazing. That's a really good game. Without indie, there would be no PUBG, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Dota, Half-Life, Rocket League. Yeah, man. I mean, exactly. Yeah, Mark Bryant, the System Shock. That was actually something that I don't know if I wanted to include on one of my reports coming up, or I didn't know what I was going to do exactly to talk about that, if you guys even wanted to know about it. But yeah, System Shock, it's being, production is on halt, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever, they said, when it comes back. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm going to be on for about another 15 more minutes, guys. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then I gotta get started working on News Essence for tonight. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I probably missed a ton of you guys' questions too. So you said Fee's getting mad reviews. What type of reviews is Fee getting? Let me check Open Critic. I didn't really see the reviews for Fee or Faye or whatever you want to call it. Take a look. Okay, well, I mean, Open Critic has it at strong, which is, for Open Critic, anything that scores within the 75 to 83 range is strong. And right now, it's at the very end of that, though, so they're at the very tip. I mean, they're at 75% on Open Critic. But it does have some scores, some reviews, mighty reviews, that give it at least an 84 or higher, which is a mighty score. And that does include IGN. That does include, or IGN Italy. Nintendo Life gave it an 8 out of 10. Trusted Reviews gave it a pretty good score. Worth Playing gave it a 9. Gear Nuke, which I don't know about that site, but they gave it an 8. Gaming Bolt gave it a 7. So I mean, looks like it's getting okay to good reviews. Excuse me. Going through and looking, the only people that gave it like a bad or like 65 or lower, like weak reviews, there was, the main IGN actually gave it a weak review. Was that normal IGN? Yeah, IGN gave it a 6.5 out of 10. But they reviewed the PS4, Xbox One, and PC version of the game, not the Switch version. So yeah, seems like a bit mixed, but still good reviews. I'm gonna be picking up Far Cry 5. No, I don't like Far Cry. I think it's overrated and not very good. But I see why people like the game. I see why people buy the game, and I see why it gets the reviews that it gets. If it gets good reviews, I don't have a problem or anything. But I just don't. I don't think Far Cry is that great. And I've tried to like Far Cry. I tried Far Cry 4. It's just everyone said, "Oh, Far Cry 4 is so good." I'm like, really? Like, yeah, it's so good. I tried Far Cry 4. It's not very good. I don't think it's very good. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, millions and millions of people love Far Cry. So I'm wrong. Everyone else is right. Yoshi and Octopath day one purchase for you, OJ. I don't know about day one. I know Octopath is a day one purchase. I need a physical cartridge about that, but like a physical cartridge for that. But I don't know about Yoshi. I might get a review code for Yoshi. Yeah, Secret of Mana remake is getting bombed. It's kind of getting slammed. What is that one at? Let me check. Oh yeah, it's getting slammed. It's got a 67, and it's got reviews lower. It's got reviews 65 or lower. What did GameSpot, which I don't trust, but GameSpot gave it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, not very good reviews. Not very good reviews at all. Yeah. So, yeah, Secret of Mana remake not doing so well. There was no scores in the Mighty either. There's no scores in the 84 or higher. Or I think there's maybe one score. But yeah, not doing so well. OJ, looking forward to Black Panther. You will not be disappointed. It's amazing. Well, I'm going to be getting it on 4K Blu-ray, so yeah, man. OJ, gotta blow out of here. I'm getting paid at work. Watch PE Live. All right, El Comanche. Take it easy, man. That's what I heard with Secret of Mana. That's the worst. It's worse if the Vita version doesn't perform that. Yeah, I watched the Digital Foundry thing. The Vita version seems to be a little suspect, which is, I don't know why it is, but it is. They should have stabilized it for that. So Alonzo Vine says, "Hey OJ, do you think Project Octopath will get a special edition?" I think it's possible. Yeah, I think it's possible because Bravely Default got a special edition, so I think it's possible for Project Octopath to get a special edition. OJ, do you think that the Okami remaster will come? Yeah, I think Okami remaster will come to Switch probably next, or probably this year. I think at some point this year it'll come. OJ, do you think we'll see a F-Zero game? Yeah, I think we'll see an F-Zero game at some point. Whether it's this year or next year, who knows? But I think Nintendo will reboot F-Zero at some point. Have you been playing your Bayonetta, bro? Yeah, I've been playing Bayonetta. I've actually been pure plat. Went back and pure platinum things, platinum and pure platinuming some of the chapters. So yeah. Would you rather get a AAA Switch game for 60 or multiple eShop Switch games valued at 60? It depends on the game. If it's Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I'd rather get Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And everyone's definition of what AAA is different. My definition of AAA is how good is the game, not how good is your graphics and how much does it cost. My definition of AAA is quality. It's quality. It's quality of the gameplay. It's also quality of the game. Like that's what my definition is. My definition isn't, oh, okay, well, it's nice graphics, so it's a AAA game, or they spent $20 million on commercials or on on marketing. Oh, it's AAA. So, not my definition. So it just depends on the game. I mean, you can trust IGN now. I mean, Philip is doing the IGN reviews for Nintendo stuff, and that's the guy that used to. I mean, he used to have his own. He used to be on the Spawncast all the time. Philip, I don't know how to say his last name, Mukin or something like starts with the M. Philip M. So you can trust him because he's grassroots. He's a guy that we know. We all know. I mean, we know Philip. You know what I'm saying? So you can trust Philip. I say you can trust Philip's reviews because we know Philip. You know what I'm saying? He's one of us. He was basically just a guy, and then he worked his way up to be working at IGN. So I trust his reviews. You don't have to agree with it, but you can trust Philip. Xenosaga Remastered Trilogy. I want it. Yeah, that'd be great. Once again, give me my wings, Archangel, man. I want to fly too. Oh, Atelier Ladine, so I almost forgot about that game. OJ, are you enjoying Celeste? I don't have Celeste at this point. I still need to buy it. Okay, guys, not everyone's gonna like Black Panther. Some people are gonna like it. Some people are not gonna like it. So there's no need to argue about what you like or what you don't like about it. There's some people that are just gonna like Black Panther. There's some people that are not gonna like Black Panther. There's some people that hate Black Panther. There's some people that think it's the greatest film ever. It's a film. It's a movie. Everything's gonna be subjective. Some people hate the political undertones. Some people like the political undertones. Goes all back and forth. Who cares? It's just a movie. It's just a movie that you can't change, you can't alter, you can't patch, you can't do anything. It's just a movie. Come on, 6 more likes. Let's do it. 6 more likes. Adia. There we go. Adia. I don't think Adia would be from Sakon. If they're going to put somebody from Bravely Default, it's going to be Tiz. It's not going to be Adia. It's going to be Tiz, or it's going to be Agnes, or it's going to be Tiz. That's who they're going to put. Or they're going to put the Moon Girl from Bravely Second. Wouldn't be Adia. I mean, Adia is great, but maybe a skin swap from Tiz. Since you can pick anybody can be any class in that game. So maybe skin swaps, but Tiz is gonna be the main dude that they use. It wouldn't be Adia. Although I love Adia. She's awesome. But thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate the 200 likes. Do appreciate that. All right, Alonzo Vance says, OJ, do you think we'll get Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival 2? No, I don't think we'll get that. When do you think we'll get the Switch version of Wolfenstein 2? I think it'll be like a fall, summerish type of deal. Q3-ish. Hayden, there's no political undertones because you don't live in the U.S. Because you don't live in the U.S. If you lived in the U.S. and if you understood a little bit more what's going on here, there's definitely some political undertones in there. And I wouldn't even say I would just say certain activist rights groups and stuff. There's definitely stuff, but you don't live in the U.S. You're not part of it. You're not part of that. So that's the reason why you don't understand, or you don't think that there is any. Or it might fly over some people's head, but if you're in tune with that, then there definitely is. There definitely is. If you watch Mikel Casanova, who's been on my channel before, he hated the film because of those. I'm not gonna just kind of say what he likes to talk about politically, but he's kind of far right type of deal. So he hated it because of that. So, or he disliked it a lot. So. Like I said, but I don't care who people vote for, to be honest. You vote for whoever you want. You can like whoever you want. Will Kamiya return for Bayonetta 3? I think so. By the way, OJ, nice tip jar. Yeah, man, the tip jar looks good, doesn't it? The tip jar looks. I'm liking the tip jar. The tip jar is very stylish. Very stylish. It's kind of transparent, so it's hard to see. But I'm gonna integrate it better. It'll be integrated better. Like if you guys don't like, it's this thing right here that I'm kind of moving around. Anytime you guys have tipped me and stuff, to kind of just like some graphics kind of come up. It's nice though. I like it. It's definitely nice. Subscriptions, all stuff like that. So OJ, any possibility that Namco will announce a new Tales game this year? Yeah, they've already announced the new Tales game. That it's coming. They haven't announced actually what it is, but yeah, I think this year will be the year that they actually say what the actual Tales game is. So yeah, how hyped are you for Attack on Titan 2? I'm not super hyped, but I'm hyped. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm just like, okay, bring it out. It's coming out soon. What, March? Yeah, it's coming out March. So March is gonna be good. We got Kirby and we got Attack on Titan. That's gonna be really good. And we also got Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, which I hope I'm gonna be getting a review code for. That's coming out. Sword Art Online. That's coming out like this week or next week. I think it's coming out next week. I think it's coming out next week. So yeah, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet comes out. Hopefully I get a review code for that. Final question. How would you feel if Jean started her own Nintendo Sega Game Switch future platform? I mean, maybe, but I mean that's so far in the future. I have no idea. Like we don't even know what Nintendo Switch's future platform is. So I mean, it would be cool, but we need to wait and see how Bayonetta 3 does. I'm more excited about Bayonetta 3 and replaying Bayonetta 1 and 2 than I am worried about, you know, Nintendo's next console, than John starting her next console when we don't even know what she's gonna do in Bayonetta 3. Like, what's her role in Bayonetta 3 first? Let's talk about that. Like, what's her role in Bayonetta 3, you know, first, and then Nintendo's next console. What's Nintendo's next console gonna be? So that's so far in the future, you know, and that's hurdling, you know, like what we have right now. So it's hard for me to formulate any opinion on that, you know, any real like opinion that I could tell you like, oh yeah, like this is what I think. Well, we don't know her involvement in Bayonetta 3, so let me see that first, and then maybe we can get back to that question, you know. Do you know about the Splatoon manga and ARMS comic? Yeah, I know about it. It's just yeah, maybe you got to have that American blood. That's what's going on, man. Gordon Edgar says, hi OJ, would you cover Switch peripherals sometime in a video specifically? I'm interested in your thoughts on how much revenue these potentially could make for Nintendo. Like what type of Switch peripherals? Are you talking about like licensed ones, or are you talking about Nintendo's own Switch peripherals? So let me know about that and then I can answer your question. William Jones says, PlayerEssence, do you think Bayonetta should get a spin-off game if Bayonetta 3 sells well? Do you think they should just make Bayonetta 4? They should just make Bayonetta 4. I don't think there needs to be any spin-off game. Is there, Ataki, the Ashen Knight says, is there a greater chance of Valkyria Chronicles Collection on Switch now? And I'm playing VC2 now. I think if Valkyria Chronicles 4 does really well, yeah. I've heard some ideas, floating around that Bayonetta 3 might be prequel to the first game because her original outfit. What do you think? Yeah, I've talked about that too, where it could be a prequel. It's her original outfit. It's also her hair too, but that could also just be a scene going back in time. If you've played Bayonetta games, they go back in time all the time. Bayonetta literally goes back in time like during the real time. Like you go and then you're in the witch hunts, and then you're out of the witch hunts, you know, and then you're fighting a monster in the witch hunts, then you're out of the witch hunts. So Bayonetta warps in and out of time. Then there's a little version of Bayonetta that's little Cereza that's running around with her. Then she's not running around with her. I mean, Bayonetta's time manipulation is insane. So it could be a prequel, but at the same time, it could just be her going back in time. I mean, the first time that you fight Jean, it's like what, back in time? You go back in time and fight Jean, you know, at that one thing. So we have no clue. We have no clue. It could be a prequel, but then it could not be. And you know, just because, like I talked about, like there's all sorts of stuff going on with time in that game. So you never know, man. OJ, you gonna pick up the Punch-Out Arcade Archive game when the eShop whenever it drops? I don't know about that because I already have I think there's the Punch-Outs on there's already Punch-Out on the Super Nintendo Classic, right? So I don't know if I need Punch-Out. I mean, Punch-Out's not my favorite, so yeah, man. Leaf Storm Blaze, considering it is an RPG, will you be streaming Dark Souls? I might stream Dark Souls, I might not. I don't know. As I'm not very good at the game, so I don't know if I want to stream me just getting destroyed every single time. So I mean, we'll see. Maybe not. Not sure. Am I gonna do a Labo live stream? Maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see, man. Jose, you gonna pick up the? Oh, I already answered that. Kamiya's idea for Bayonetta 4 is she goes back in time. Wait, she goes back in time to a time when she went back in time. I think you've already done that in. I think you've actually done that in Bayonetta 1 or 2. You go back in time to a time where she went back in time. You might have done that in Bayonetta 1. I'm not sure. We gotta go back and look at the scenes. Alonzo Vine says, OJ, do you plan on trying to get the Pyra Mithra figurines that were announced? Not really. I don't. People have been linking that to me as if it's like just this huge news, and I'm just like, it's just some figurines. I mean, like maybe not. I don't know. I don't really know. It's the Joy-Cons I'm particularly thinking of, OJ. Well, I mean, Nintendo's already making a lot of money off the Joy-Cons, so I mean, I don't think there's really anything else to add to that. They're gonna make a lot of money off it, but I don't know how much money they're gonna make because we don't know how much the Joy-Cons cost. So to manufacture, I mean, maybe I can figure out how much they cost to manufacture, but I would have to figure that out and then we can discuss it. You want a team kill Mark on live stream? Okay, we'll do it at least once. Who's the most overrated developer? Most overrated developer. Oh man, I shouldn't say that developer. You guys will get mad at me. I mean, I would probably say Naughty. Oh man, I'm gonna get killed for this, but Naughty Dog. I'm gonna get killed for this, man. But Naughty Dog would, for me, would probably be the most overrated developer. Now, do I feel that they deserve their sales? Absolutely. Do I feel that they're a great developer? Absolutely. Do I feel that the Uncharted series and their games are just, oh my gosh, 10 out of 10? Do I think Uncharted is the greatest thing ever? No. No, there's no progression system in Uncharted. There's no progression system in the single player. It's too cut and dry. The Last of Us is just too much like walking on the, like, you know, I've tried. I mean, I like the games, but I just don't feel that they're just this I just think that their graphics are good. Their graphics are really good, and their gameplay is tight and solid. So they get the review scores that they get, which they deserve. They deserve the sales, they deserve the review scores, and I think that anybody else who likes Naughty Dog, that's fine. I'm not trying to argue with anybody that Naughty Dog is a bad. I'm not trying to say. Okay, let me just make this clear so people don't come at me like this way. I'm not trying to say that they're bad. I'm not trying to say that they're not good or they don't deserve the sales. All I'm saying is that I don't think that their games, for me personally, I don't like their games as much as everyone else says they are. And I've played pretty much like every Naughty Dog game that comes out. I got all of them. I got Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. I've got and 4. I've got The Last of Us remastered. You know what I'm saying? I got their games. I got their games. I have played Crash games in the past, which I actually really like Crash games. I didn't think they were overrated back then, but I didn't associate Naughty Dog with Crash Bandicoot back then on the PS1. I just played the game. I just thought it's a Sony game. But in today's day, yeah, Naughty Dog. That's what I would say. Naughty Dog. But Naughty Dog deserves all the sales that they get. They deserve the review scores that they get. They deserve everything that they get. My opinion on Naughty Dog is not an indictment on their accomplishments as a studio. They deserve every penny that they make because they're talented developers. They are talented. They are talented. It's just their games. It's not for me. Yeah. OJ, have you played any music rhythm video game? Yeah, I played music. I've played Rock Band, Guitar Hero. I've played Voice. I've played all sorts of music rhythm games. Bit Trip Runner is kind of a music rhythm game at times. Okay, so that would mean Bethesda. I mean, we're not talking about a single developer. We're talking about developers. So we're talking about like a studio, probably not like Todd Howard is one entity, one person of Bethesda. So I mean, I'm not gonna single out any one person and say this person, this guy here, this man right here is overrated. I mean, you win as a team, you lose as a team. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not gonna single out one person out of the whole squad. I mean, it's a squad, it's a team, you know. Hideo Kojima. I mean, dude, those Metal Gear is good though. I mean, Metal Gear Solid, like Twin Snakes, yo, that game is good. But I mean, he didn't particularly make that, but it is based off his original game. That's a pretty good game. Metal Gear Solid 5 is good, man. Metal Gear Solid 4 is good. They're good. He's just crazy. But those are good games. I mean, they're really good games. I think they're good. I don't know. So We'll have to wait and see, man. All right, Tyrese, man. Take it easy, bro. Thanks for coming out to the stream. I mean, when it comes to the stealth, like, look, guys. You can't... Here's the reason why I have a problem with people saying that Hideo Kojima is overrated. The man literally created stealth in America. Like, popular. He literally created it. So, when you have somebody who creates a whole genre and makes it popular, I'm not sure if you can say that man's overrated. Because he literally created a whole genre. He literally created... Because of Metal Gear, we got Splinter Cell. You know what I'm saying? And we've gotten countless other, you know, sneaking action. Siphon Filter. You know, Siphon Filter. Splinter Cell. All these other games that came out that tried to be... I mean, Alpha Protocol even kind of tried to do it a little bit. Mass Effect. That game sucked, though. But, you know, like, you can't... I'm not sure if you can say that he's overrated because he's made so many great Metal Gear games that he literally created that genre in terms of a mainstream popular that people want to play. Story-based. So maybe you don't like his games, but it's hard to say that he's overrated. Like, Naughty Dog didn't do anything that hasn't already been done. Like, Naughty Dog, like, Uncharted didn't do anything that's already been here. Like, there'd been third-person shooters. There'd been third-person shooters with cover systems. There's nothing in Uncharted that hasn't been done before. There's been set pieces. There's been quick time events. There's been really clunky combat. You know, there's been anything that Uncharted's done, it's been done before. This man Kojima literally created the stealth for a mainstream audience. You know, like Naughty Dog didn't create platformers. They didn't create Crash. There have been games like Crash. I mean, maybe games that didn't do as good as Crash, but you know, I mean, there have been games like that. There have been 3D platformers. There have been stuff like that beforehand, before Crash came. So it's tough to put Kojima in that same as, oh, he's overrated when this man literally created that. So, I don't know. You know. Andy Mind says, if you had a chance, would you cosplay as Rodan from Bayonetta, OJ? If I had the chance, yeah. But I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I'm ever gonna have the chance, but yeah, if I had the chance, because I can speak like him, I think. Bayonetta. Come on, baby. Bayonetta. Modern day Indiana Jones. It's Tomb Raider-ish. It's Tomb Raider and modern day Indiana Jones. I think it's a little bit of it's a hybrid between the two. Have I ever played Revengeance? Yeah, I played Revengeance. I actually have some gameplay of Revengeance of me playing it. If you want to check it out, type in Metal Gear Revengeance on my channel, and you'll see some gameplay that I played a while ago. So yeah, I played it. I personally think the new Tomb Raider games are better than Uncharted, but that's just me. That's just me. I think although I don't like the new Tomb Raider games. That's the horrible thing. I don't really like too much of the new. I mean, I do and I don't. I have a love-hate relationship with them. But I think that if I was to pick, like, what could you have going forward? Tomb Raider or Uncharted? I'd pick Tomb Raider because Tomb Raider has a progression system built into the gameplay. Like, they didn't be lazy and they made a progression system where you get some XP to where you do that. And they also have the multiplayer like Uncharted. Maybe it's not as good, but I like Tomb Raider more because they took the time to make an actual progression system. So that's my thoughts on it. So shout out, we got some subscriptions and some follows. So shout outs to Lman 3613 hit us with that follow. Thank you so much. That Katone, appreciate that from the Fire Nation. Also shout outs to Click Addict as well. Thank you so much, homie. Welcome to the village. Hit us with those jutsus that Shadow Clone. Hopefully you enjoy your stay here, and obviously everyone, please make them feel very welcome. So yeah, man. Gotta go with Tomb Raider. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's lazy that there's no progression system in Uncharted. There's no progression system, and there should be. Tomb Raider is literally the same structure, the same design as Uncharted, and there's a progression system. There's upgrades. There's stuff that you can do. It's like, why does one game have it and the other game doesn't? Like Tomb Raider, they could probably save so much time if they just cut out the progression system. But they don't. They put it in there because they know the gamers would want that. Does it need a progression system? No, it doesn't need a progression system because it could literally be like Uncharted. It's like literally the same, but they make it more engaging. They make it better, in my opinion. What I would like to play, they make it better because of it. So So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. So, but that's just me. I know why a lot of people like Uncharted more or whatever, you know. The original Tomb Raiders control like this. She like dives in one way, dives in the other way. The original Tomb Raiders control like trash, and they're, goodness gracious, people just like the game because it was, you know why people just like the old school game. That's all I gotta say. You know why people like the old school game. People bought it just because of that. Do I think that they're good? But it was different for back then in the day. So yeah. Upgrade Laura Croft was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Death Strand. That was gameplay that we saw with Death Strand. The game is gonna look. The game is literally going to look like that. The game is going to look like that. So yeah, man. So yeah. The original Tomb Raider controls are stiff as hell. Yeah, go back and play those Tomb Raider games. See how much you like them. She rotates like a. She like rotates like it's like she like it's so blocky. Like I was fighting a bear. I remember I was playing the game. I was fighting a bear, and I was just like, dodge. It's just I felt like I was playing like Lego blocks. Like even back then, I was like, man, what's this Lego boo block game, man? This game is weird. I think that was my exact. That was my exact words. I remember I was playing the game at my friend Turtle's house. He's like, hey man, have you played Tomb Raider? I was like, I've seen the commercials and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I want to play. I want to play. And we started playing. He's like, this game's awesome, huh? I'm like, why can't I like run around like Mario or something? Like, why is this so stiff? Like, skip this game. I mean, it's what it is, man. So that's my opinion on old Tomb Raiders, but you know I can see why people like them though. I mean, kinda. Oh man, how does that go again? Nah, I ain't doing it no more, man. I ain't doing it no more. Demonetized? Nah, no demonetized. No demonetized. No man, no demonetized. None of that. But anyway, guys. We're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. Then I gotta get ready for some news essence tonight. We got some good stories to go over, so expect a pretty fair amount of news essence tonight. I think it's going to be pretty good. Give you guys a little bit of some outro news or stuff to follow or to talk about. So if you haven't checked out my channel, I recently did a video. I'm going to link that first. I recently did a video. Please make sure you guys check it out. Dragon Quest Builders news, Dragon Quest Builders 2, in addition to some Final Fantasy stuff as well. So make sure you guys check that out when you get the opportunity. I'll put that in the chat. Also, if you can check us out on... oh, man. Okay, also, hold up. Oh, that just links to a picture. Never mind. Also, if you can check us out on Twitch as well. Our Twitch is in the description, so if you check out the description of this video, and in any of our videos, you can see our Twitch channel. So make sure you give us a follow on Twitch. That'd be fantastic. Trying to build that up a little bit. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have News Essence up around 6 p.m. tonight, so that's in about a little bit over 3 hours or so. I'll have News Essence up so you guys can watch that. Please make sure you check out some of my other videos as well for the day. I did 2 previous ones. I also did a News Essence this morning. Also make sure you guys check out my News Essence that I did this morning, talk about Rhyme and some other stuff. So that was also fun. So make sure you check that out too when you get the opportunity. I'll link that in the chat. So thanks to everyone who followed. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for all that, guys. You guys are amazing. And we will see you guys for News Essence later today. All right. Peace out, Ninja.